Opera.
Interesting. Yeah,
Google
Hangouts has always been
Canary? What the
goofy.
hell?
Yeah, Google Canary is
I
like
took Hangouts
made
off
for
my phone
developers.
because it just takes up space.
Awesome.
I took Hangouts off. I can't even talk right now. I took Hangouts off my phone because it took up space and I never used it.
I use it very rarely, but I do use it.
I haven't used it since my World of Darkness days. I don't ever use it anymore.
I only use it since Discord's video chat hasn't quite kicked in yet. Like
Yeah,
I
I think.
have it, but my friends don't have it, so it doesn't work like that. So if we want to like video chat our dogs or something, we use Google Hangouts.
Makes sense. Alright, we are officially streaming, just so you guys know. Welcome to another episode of the Divine Vanguard. This is Thursday's episode, for those who are keeping track of my many games I play. Last we left off, the intrepid Divine Vanguard had just finished clearing an undead house of its problematic individuals. However, one managed to escape.
Was it the one Galad as fuck?
No. No,
No, it was the one that turned to mist and we couldn't catch.
Correct.
I thought that was the woman.
No. No, and Galahad didn't do the vampire woman.
He just really wanted to.
Yeah.
Wow. What
He
the-
ran off, if I remember correctly.
Who was I? The only one I remember was the one that Razek, and it wasn't even like a character. It was just generic.
Oh, you just thought it was an NPC?
Yeah, it was an NPC.
Yeah. I know
Then it's
Razek.
a chance at a vampire lover.
I know Razek fucked a vampire, but I think he's the only one on the list.
There's a difference. He
Yeah.
fucked a Dragear. There's a big difference between the two.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to go with a
I'd
vampire.
rather not say who I
Oh,
slept with.
We all know.
We all know.
You made the active choice. Kersey gave you many options to leave.
Makes for great
Do
stories.
we have to go back into this?
No.
You brought it up.
I was gonna say we were all just gonna walk right by it. Okay. You guys did defeat the forces at Pine Coast. Burned down Galetus' old house. Like I said, one did escape that you guys are aware of. You're not sure if it burned up in the fire or not, but you guys, being the way you are going to assume that it probably escaped somehow. However, by the time you guys really figure it out, you're like, nah, fuck it, we won't be able to catch it.
It was sad to have to give up on that.
Nah, it was one vampire, and it seemed like the male that you guys took out seemed to be the more powerful of the two.
And it wasn't affected by like the light from the blade at all.
It bothered you. It bothered it, but it went to mist and then went out the room, so you guys couldn't do anything about it because you guys were still fighting the rest of the creatures in the room.
I see.
While you guys are in town, though, however, you do see one of your unique allies approach you.
Which unique ally?
One of the many you guys have made through your various travels, taking the keys down and doing things like that. It's one of your one of the military guys. Apparently, probably the messenger.
Would I know him?
You guys have seen him before. I mean, he runs a lot of errands and stuff for some of the other commanders.
Hi, how you doing there, buddy?
It's Quicksilver or something, right?
No, it's not Quicksilver. No, that would be much different.
Well, then I'm lost.
No, this is just because you've run across a bunch of people and you've helped a lot of people, so you've begun getting forces that you're not really aware of because you guys really haven't been paying attention. But there is a military presence slowly beginning to form through the resistance, quote unquote. This gentleman comes up. He goes, Razik and the others, I'm glad I found you. I have some dire news. I'm not sure how you guys are going to take it.
Razik's smile from Razik and the others quickly fades. Well,
Speak.
what would that be?
Lord Worthington has escaped.
It is kind of
He's-
shitty.
What?
It was only a matter of time, to be honest.
Should have just killed him.
Galladus would probably flare up. He's what?
He's escaped. Apparently, he had someone on the inside assisting him.
Huh.
Any idea who?
We're still looking into it now, but from what I heard, apparently it was a high-ranking member.
Any idea where he has gone?
No trace.
What about the keys?
The keys are still in protective custody. Apparently, he was not going for those. Apparently, he was just trying to get away.
Well, shit.
Hmm.
Not surprising.
Where was he last seen?
Montan.
Can anybody scry?
I do have scrying.
Well, it's worth a shot.
Alright, let me pull it up.
Can we scry? Oh shoot, yeah. She's mad.
Do we have anything of his that might help out?
I
Let's
don't think
see.
so.
Nope. You guys
Well,
didn't
we
take
have
anything from him.
firsthand. Or would it be firsthand or familiar?
In
Well,
this
you-
case, it would be firsthand because you guys have met him. You know who he is. How is secondhand a plus
Not like
5? Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Do we have a likeness, picture, possession, garment, body part, lock of hair, bit of nail, or anything like that?
No.
Yeah, you guys didn't get any of that information, anything like that. You guys basically
I can draw
captured.
something real quick.
I was gonna say he can draw. You know, you can have Razik draw a quick
Oh,
picture, and
yeah.
I'll count that with the
Is
likeness.
he an artistic person?
I hope so.
We're all
Also
hoping.
fine.
Hold on.
We also traveled with him for days, so like, because we captured him, we would know what he looks like, right?
Yeah, but
I have, like,
for
fingernail
the purpose of the
bits
scry,
and
you
all
need
that
like a
stuff.
likeness of him or something to that effect. You know him, which makes it which makes there's no bonus to the difficulty. But the more you have that, like a likeness or picture of him, it drops the difficulty down. In other words, it makes it harder for him to block the scry.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, we could try and draw one, but I think we've seen my drawings. Sorry, I'm too lazy for Galahad voice today. I'm too tired.
All good.
I think my drawings, they're not particular.
I will try and roll dexterity for this drawing.
Roll like your hand gets a cramp and you roll a 3.
Hey, not bad.
Oh, I'm not even on roll 20. What the fuck?
Good job.
Oh god.
It's all
God,
good, man.
Galahad, get it together.
I'm sorry. All right, there we go.
Razik, you can still attempt to draw too. I mean, the more you guys have, I'll allow like 2
I'll
likenesses.
do it.
I'll allow 2 likenesses to take into effect. So she'll have it. It'll be a negative. It'll be a. That's still not bad.
Does he have advantage? Oh no, I guess it'd be on
Remember what
artistic.
I
Yeah.
roll.
Remember, I have to roll his wisdom saving throw to see if he detects it.
Okay, that's why I couldn't find what I had to roll. I was like reading through it and I'm like, wait.
You don't have to roll
what's
anything.
down
Basically,
here?
yeah. Basically, all you do is you focus. I have to make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target and sort of physical connection you have. If it knows you're casting the spell, it can fail the saving throw voluntarily if it wants to be observed.
If it's one of those purrs.
Yeah, kinky. We're the government, guys.
Okay, well,
Nice.
Whoops.
Excellent.
oh shit.
Still good enough.
The 8.
Okay, that's still fine. You guys, between the three of you, managed to do a decent enough likeness. You add each, So
Galladus draws an eye.
It's a
Draws
collaborative
an
effort. Yeah.
yes, it's a collaborative effort. So I will give you a -2 to the save modifier, which
Yay.
means, which actually would mean a +2 to his. So he's got to get higher. And what's your DC spell? Spell DC?
It's 18 now.
Okay. Counting the +2?
Counting the +2. I don't know if it counts the +2 automatically or not.
For the purpose of this, it will count a +2, which means he has to roll higher than whatever you got because the likeness gave you that bonus.
Okay, so then.
So it'd be a 20?
with
Okay.
the
Okay, so he's got to roll 20 or above to beat it.
Here's hoping.
And he failed.
Yeah. All right. Let's watch him.
That'd make more sense.
The drawing. Oh my god. Do you uppercut my head tonight?
I'm sorry.
I suppose it could be a horn. I'm tired. Leave me alone.
It's all good.
It's a cowboy hat. All right.
It's a cowboy hat. Sure, cowboy hats are.
Look, he's got cowboy boots on too. He's totally a cowboy.
He has
He's
the
wearing a
wizard hat
jacket and
cowboy
jeans.
boots. No, but here's the thing. I see like one line that differentiates the pants from the shoes, and one doesn't
Yeah.
exist. So I imagine half of his
Maybe
pants
one of his
are a
feet.
shoe, and the other half is just a foot.
Maybe yeah, it's just his feet.
For those watching on Twitch, you should really see what the picture is. It's hilarious. But it's definitely unique. That's what we get for drawing Crayon.
Good job, Raz.
I thought it was great. Don't let him get you down, man. Keep doing your thing.
As you focus in, the spell literally, in a sense, pulls your sight from where you're sitting, zips you straight up into the air. You now are kind of floating in the clouds, and then it shoots northwards. You're going by an incredible speeds. You do know that you are now past the continent you're on, so you were past Pandarin. You are now crossing ocean. And then it stops on a boat. And then as it slowly zooms in, there you see him.
Oh, guys.
That's good. Take your amulet and go there.
Yeah, excuse me.
Well, we can't see it. If you go there, then we can just jump to you.
Shouldn't we observe him a little bit first to see what he's doing?
Can we? How long
Yeah.
does it last?
10 minutes.
Oh, cool. Is he with any? Or I guess I wouldn't know.
Let's wait till he goes to the bathroom, guys. Then we can jump him.
Disturbing. Kerosene would do it.
Truly a genius.
Literally catch him with his pants down.
I think it's a great idea.
Wait, if he pulls his pants down to like piss.
He has exactly 10 AC.
Unless he has. Yeah.
Jeez. Now we're going there.
He's a never nude.
Wow.
Such interesting chats we have on Thursday nights. Full of interesting facts.
Last week, Galahad lost his virginity, and
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And,
This is what we deal with on a daily basis. Welcome to Thursday.
yep, welcome to Thursday.
Galahad walks with a new spring in his step.
Nothing can wipe this smile off his face.
Parents are down. I think you meant pants are down.
I picture Galahad with just a big shit-eating grin on his face half the time, anyways. So
Worthington, my parents aren't home.
Disturbing. You do notice Worthington has gotten some new gear.
ooh,
He is talking. He is talking to somebody. This is all. Kersey is the only one who can see this because she's the only one casting the scry. So basically, this is all like pictured in her mind. So she'll have to relay what she sees afterwards.
can we see it? Oh, never mind. That's through the dragons. Never mind.
Yeah. Any other means? Technically, you guys could if you connected your dragons, But right now, your dragons have blocked you for some reason.
Oh,
Blocked us.
What? Oh, that's not good.
It's they're in no danger because you can still feel their emotions and stuff. They just have a privacy block up.
They changed their security
Yeah,
settings.
Yes, they changed their security
They
settings.
changed the security
That's not
setting.
cool.
you can't do that. That's not
It's a
fair.
family plan.
So
Okay.
unfortunately, you
I
can't
was
use the
supposed to
dragon.
have control of all accounts.
Unfortunately, you can't do anything with the dragons because they are currently.
Oh well, okay.
Just makes it easier. Makes it a little more interesting.
Well, am I wrong in assuming that if Kersey jumped to the boat, that I could feasibly just jump to wherever Kersey was?
How?
By picturing Kersey.
Don't we have those teleport stones?
That's what I'm saying. Using the
Okay,
teleports.
when did we get teleport stones?
You guys don't have
Amulets were
stones.
just one.
Yeah.
That's-
No, the teleport rings. I'm sorry.
They're
You
not-
also,
They're not rings. They're pendants.
yeah, you guys.
Oh, they were pendants?
Yeah, you guys have the elemental pendants, which would
Oh.
allow.
Oh,
We
okay,
could
that's
That's-
what they were.
That's what he's
Never
talking about.
mind.
Yeah, which would allow you guys to do that. Yes.
So what I'm saying is, Kersey would use his, and then we would just jump to Kersey with ours.
Kersey, this is a warship.
I
Oh,
don't know
definitely
if I
do
wanna
it.
go on.
I'll
Oh my
cut-
god. Let's have a-
I will sink the ship.
I'm so down for a
Listen.
pirate battle.
Go ahead. Didn't you throw up last time we
Well,
were
you know.
involved with a ship?
It's okay. He has lesser restoration prepared this time
Wait, did
for
you throw up?
for his upset tummy.
I can't
Exactly.
recall.
Um,
As
That'll
long as
be
I fire off
fun.
the first shot,
Kersey, the one thing you notice
I
that's
want him dead.
the one thing you notice is that something is definitely different. The people he's with, do not bear a symbol of Chronons.
Can I simultaneously read minds while scrying, or is that too many spells at once?
No, too much at once.
Well, you guys, I don't know what's going on, but he doesn't have anybody with Chronon's symbol with him. Good or bad?
And
Oh.
most of the people you've seen so far, I mean, you're only getting brief glimpses of them because your entire scry is focused on him. You can't change it now. Like, you're focused on just him, so you see, like, it's about 10 feet out from him, but you only get mostly him in the
Wow.
picture. So what you're seeing is basically like a few people passing by. Just about everyone you've seen that he's passed by has a weapon on them.
We can take the ship.
What if he's honest? What if they're transporting him? It sounds odd, but what if they're transporting him? Like, they're moving him from Montana to someplace else, but is he free?
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
Yes, he is walking around with no manacles on.
Does he look in charge?
He's not giving the orders, but you do notice that when people get close, they kind of, you can hear what sounds like some form of like kind of like coming to attention kind of thing. But then they just continue moving on.
Well, who can go invisible and blend in on this ship?
Well, what's the
Definitely
weather?
Sunny, with a chance of meatballs.
Is it? Is this Fantasyland?
Well, I could use Mark of the Wild, and I could probably blend in if I know what the weather is. If depends on the weather, though.
Right now, it's
I can
clear.
find out the weather.
Right now, it's clear skies.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
Okay, before it wasn't working. I said I can turn invisible, and would I be able to teleport there? Just drop a couple fireballs and then bone out. Is that possible?
It would be, but you'd have to know the exact location. Only Kerosene knows the exact location where he's at right now. So, like, in a sense, Kerosene would have to jump there. Then you could focus on her elemental powers, which you guys have the ability to do. Is you guys can focus on each other's powers. and then basically teleport yourself there, drop some fireballs, and then teleport out.
Well, looks like either way, my ass is getting dragged to a ship.
You actually
Pirate battle.
you actually watch as Lord Worthington kneels before someone.
Hey, we should hop over there.
Oh my god, this will be the greatest entrance ever.
Hey, let's go right now.
Only
I like who
Kerosene
he's
knows where it is,
kneeling
though.
to.
Yeah,
He's
only,
kneeling to someone, I must see.
Well, are we all like looking pretty good after that battle?
yeah, you guys are fine.
I
You
think
guys,
we got a full wet.
yeah, you guys are
I don't
back
think I
to.
got it.
You guys should
Oh,
be
yeah.
back to full health and everything, and have everything.
Oh, did we rest? Okay, thank God.
Yeah, man. Remember, you got laid.
Oh, hell yeah. That's right. I don't know if I did much resting, though.
Eventually, yeah.
Sexual
I don't
healing.
think
2 points of exhaustion.
When I get
Way
that
to brag when
feeling,
Kerosie's
I got
around.
Galahad
Yours is a one-up.
healing.
Say what, Kersey?
2 points of exhaustion.
Right?
What'd you say, Kersey?
I'm gonna have this song. Sorry.
Mine too. Don't worry.
I said it's hard to one-up when Kerosie's around in
That's
terms
true.
of that.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But
As
anyway,
you're watching, you hear the individual talking to him. You were released because you still have a purpose. As soon as that purpose is either out of your reach or you've succeeded, we will determine your next course of action. Till then, you will follow orders like a good little boy.
Oh,
Oh my god, take us to now.
little did he know he was about to get fucked up in like
Yeah.
5 seconds after this conversation.
do I recognize the voice?
No, you've never heard it before.
Mm. Man or woman?
It's obviously Krampus. Get him.
Man.
Krampus.
Krampus.
From what you can tell, it sounds like a male voice. It's very deep. It's kind of raspy. It sounds like he's got a cold or something. Is what you're gathering? Is it sounds like he's sick or something? But it's a very raspy voice. I can't do it, so I'm not
Like
even
a
gonna
good little boy.
You are alive.
Beauty.
You exist
family.
solely because you are worthwhile. I will warn you. If you fail in any part of the task we have given you, you don't have to worry about your associates finding you.
Damn.
He thinks we can't find him.
It's about to get real.
And then, Kersey, your vision goes black and you return back.
Hey
What did you
guys.
see?
Kerosie, what did your elf eyes see?
Exactly.
I've never read or seen Lord of the Rings, but anyway.
We should ambush them.
Well, okay, I pirated the books, but I haven't read them yet. But anyhow,
I see.
I never heard that.
I don't know.
Don't admit that on Twitch.
I don't know if he let me view him or not, because if he did, this would be a very good trap on his end.
Oh my god, let's do it though.
Man, this will be the most fun way to die, though.
The one thing you know about this,
Where was he?
Kersey, the one thing you know about the scrying spell is that sometimes it succeeds, sometimes it doesn't. You also know that you can choose whether or not you allow people to scry on you. So yeah, you would have that question in your mind. Did he let you scry, or was it just he wasn't paying attention? That's the real question. And if he let you,
that further solidifies.
yeah, and if he let you scry, then you're fucked. You know, because then he meant for you to see that. But you were. It wasn't that your vision ended. It's more like you were kicked out.
Yeah, it's a trap, guys. Let's not.
No, let's do it. Right now.
Group vote.
Is there, like, we can't get anything from... Excuse me, my god. We can't get anything from our dragons, like, at all? I'd be super more comfortable with them being able to teleport us out. But...
We can't just count on them for every battle.
Well, we've been 2 sessions without them, I think.
And you
Listen,
guys have been
how
doing
come
pretty good without him, you gotta admit.
Yeah. So I think it'd be fair, as long as they can, hear us, or can we draw power from them still?
You
or
do
how does it
know
work?
you do know that you still have the connection to him, so you could still draw like your dragon spells and stuff from him. But
Yeah, but
you also know that they are blocking a lot of other things right now. You're not sure why. You know it's not in anger towards you guys, like you guys haven't done anything wrong. It's more just you have a feeling they're
We're
doing
busy.
it. Yeah, they're either busy or doing it more for your protection.
Okay.
Do we know where they are? Can we tell?
Have no idea. You haven't seen them, and they're
Can
not
they
with you.
turn into the Kraken and destroy the boat?
With us, though. Like with what? Like are they like right beside me or something?
No, they're not even with you. They said they'd return. They had to go take care of something together as a group, and you haven't heard from them since. You still feel a
And yeah, we
connection,
can't
which
tell where
like I said, you still feel a connection, so you know they're not injured or anything because you would have felt that. But you know they're somewhere, and it's somewhere that they feel that is better, is more safe for you guys not to know, so they're blocking it.
They're Dragon Con.
Yes, all hanging out, just chitting chat.
My next important question is, can they turn into Krakens and destroy the boat?
You don't know.
Anymore.
You know with their powers,
Maybe.
probably.
Hey, Veer,
Listen-
pick up the phone.
Oh my god, I just want to attack this boat so hard.
Sounds so wrong.
like 99% sure it's a trap, but yeah, let's do it. I'm down.
I don't have a boner for this.
Jesse,
Where is his location?
Super
First time for everything.
do it.
Galahad wants to do everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Kerosene wants to do everybody.
Yes,
Yeah.
also true.
I was waiting.
Anyway, where is his location?
On a boat.
Well,
Well,
go
I
there.
mean,
So
in the general area.
It's going fast.
I saw him. Like, I can't. You know.
Oh yeah, you can't
longitude
see like the locations. I
132.
guess.
Like, I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, the
try
close.
it.
I
Just
can
focus on the
feel
road.
it. God, okay. But if I do this, I have to make a grand entrance.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna be magic.
Yeah, I mean, literally.
Yeah.
Galdis is notching one of his arrows and aiming, just so when he teleports, he's already ready to fire.
Okay, here's the narrative.
Oh god.
Kerosene picks up his amulet very gently in his hands, and he teleports onto the boat. The second he gets there, he has like a puff of smoke under him, prestidigitation style. It's purple with sparkles. And
Awesome.
his hair flies back behind him, and he looks at Worthington and he says, "Hi, baby. Did you miss me? Come to
Except-
mama a kiss."
Except you don't appear where Worthington is. You appear,
Oh.
it seems like, in the bowels of the boat. The other catch is you feel your magic being subdued.
Oh, you
Oh
motherfucker.
crap!
and then
Let's
the
go.
rest of us appear.
And then the rest of you
then
appear.
we all appear.
Congratulations, you guys all just appeared straight into a prison cell.
No one listens
Totally
to
didn't.
Kerosene.
Oh no, we saw this coming. It was just fun.
And before you, what you see is it looks like some kind of wizard, except his face has been. Looks like he's had better days. He looks kind of
Mangled?
deadish.
Me too.
I'm going to try and slash at these bars with Durzo's razor for some siege damage, and if the first attack doesn't seem to do anything, I'm going to go for the walls that the bars are in.
I thought you were gonna
Smart
hit,
move.
like, cut the guy. I was like, dude, what the fuck?
No, this individual is standing far enough back where even your longest weapons wouldn't hit him. Apparently, he knows about you.
Well, that's
Well, my arrow's knocked in, so I'm aiming at him
Well,
now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll go over
Um,
to him while he's hitting the bars.
actually-
and making a ruckus.
Will. As
Yes.
for my recent prestige class, I can actually swing my sword at a 20-foot range as I unsheath it and
Yeah,
put it back.
he's about 40 feet from you. He just
Oh,
it's one of those. He's standing far enough back where you can see him and he can see you, but he's not
I
within
can
range
hit-
of any weapon.
I can hit 40 feet if I burn a key point for this round.
You could.
I will do that,
Why
and
don't we
I'm
talk to him
going
instead of
to.
attacking immediately.
Can I shoot an arrow?
Can I divine sense?
Hold on, one at a time, one at a time. Steele said he went first, so I'm gonna let him. As you slash at the bars, it seems to have an effect, but not enough. You know this. You know your blade should do a lot more damage than this. And as it crosses across the bars, you can see sparks fly.
But I did see some sort of progress.
Very little. You know you would have to sit and hack at this for a while for the kind of damage that you wanted.
How subdued does my magic feel?
Like you feel like the best way to put it is you don't think you could cast a cantrip, let alone anything else.
Okay. All right. What about my ring of spell storing?
You don't know.
Is that still okay?
You can try.
But
You
the
can certainly
spiral-
try. I will not deny you guys trying, but just know that you have a feeling. Actually, roll an intelligence check, Razak. And yeah,
Yep.
the walls are not stone. They are. It's just a pure metal cage all around. But you can. I'll say you keep trying. Razak, from what you are able to gather, you are in an anti-magic or cone. Like an anti-magic field of effect, which means any magic that you cast will be pointless. As you fire at him, Galitas, you see he just waves his hand, and the arrow just goes flying off into the wall.
Well,
So,
Should
well, that's
should
a
we
pretty neat
investigate
trick there, buddy.
If I wanted you dead, I would have had other ways to do it. But we can talk
Why
if
don't
you're willing to
you- how you
talk.
do that?
I'm
I'm more than willing to talk, my friend.
I didn't try to kill you.
He smiles.
Hey, me neither.
Yes.
I
Right.
was definitely thinking about it.
Steel. That's the only reason why it's not doing more damage is because the power within the weapon is being restrained.
Okay.
So, buddy, could you tell me that that little like trick you did there at the arrow, was that some sort of telekinesis on the arrow itself, or are you creating a shield?
He
How'd you go
smiles.
about doing that?
That's right. You're right. It wasn't magic. So you actually do pretty good bit of damage to it. But these bars are pretty thick. You managed to cut quite a bit into it, and cut slices across it because you're not trying to just hack at one bar, because one bar ain't gonna do shit for you. But you managed to get about 3/4 of the way through several of the bars. Before he just looks at you, goes, "Do that one more time, and I will make you regret that decision."
I'm gonna have a migraine.
I'm being nice.
Galahad.
He was looking at Steel when he said it. I have not harmed. I have not
My
harmed you,
ego
and you
is
are.
hurt.
I have not harmed you, and you are in safe hands
Prison.
for now. Safe hands for now.
Well, traditionally, as a guest, I have been treated to tea and something of a comforting chair,
I'll take whiskey.
not a
actually.
not a cell.
I'll take two.
He
Are you
smiled.
taking orders?
I could use some whiskey.
He waves
Some
his
grilled cheese? Anyone?
he waves his hand, and you can see come forward. You can see Lord Worthington. Something seems different about Worthington, though. Roll a perception
Hey,
check.
douchebag.
Okay.
Everybody can roll at this. You guys have known him enough to know. Wow, some interesting rolls. It seems like his eyes seem to be a bit glazed over.
Bum bum bum. He's under control.
This guy's always just been a tool, isn't he?
Right now, yeah, Worthington is a tool.
I want to Arcana check the wizard, see if he might have anything to do with this.
Yeah, like if he's dominating him or
Okay.
something.
Okay, you can do
It's
that.
kinky, but you need consent for that shit, man.
Can I do it too?
Are you trained in Arcana?
Well, no.
Only those
But I
trained.
do
Only
have Arcana.
you may have Arcana, but you have to be trained in it. So you'd have to be, have to have some kind of skill with spells in order to do it. That's why I'm allowing Razak to.
Okay, never mind. then.
Like Karis, he could do
well, I
it.
am a ranger.
Your spells are different. No, you both actually got
Okay,
the same
never
thing.
mind then.
From what you guys can tell, this individual that seems to be in charge seems to have some kind of control over Worthington.
I have a question. I draw my magic from a divine source, not like the arcane kind of thing. Do I still feel like my magic is?
Yes, all magic is subdued. It doesn't matter.
Damn.
It's pretty nasty, and this particular spell is not fun.
Right. So how and why? Who is our
Just the usual
controlling
question.
Worthington?
Just give us the usual stuff. No,
He-
I'm kidding.
He looks at you all. Please forgive me my rudeness. I should have introduced myself when you first appeared, but apparently someone was trying to break free. He looks over at Steel
To be
again.
fair, we did shoot you, so.
You attempted.
By we, I mean.
No, Steel didn't try
What
and
was
hit
that?
him. Steel tried to hit the bars.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah.
That was Galitas who tried to hit him with the
The latest.
He just smiles. You can call me Regnum.
Rectum.
I like rectum better, yeah.
He just glares.
Hey, hearing problems. I got tinnitus.
Mall.
No, sorry, that's funny.
Fun fact: I actually do have tinnitus.
Ooh, damn.
He says,
Not too bad.
my name is Regnum.
Okay. Hi, Rectum.
It just went quiet on my end, so I'm having to use my phone.
So, my friend never answered my question. That little spell there, were you using telekinesis, or was that some kind of shield type of spell to deal with that arrow?
Shield.
Ah, very nice. Well done.
He seems to be rather matter-of-factly. He doesn't seem to care, if you know.
Who is controlling Worthington right now?
The individual just smiles. The man called Regnum smiles.
Can I do my divine?
Wait,
sense
what did
thing?
you say? What did you say?
Yes, you can do your divine sense. That's the weird thing about it is it's not really a spell, so you can kind of get away with it. The individual that is classifying himself as Regnum is undead. Worthington, of course, is alive.
Okay. Did you say you cut out when you after you said he smiled for me?
I think that.
mean, on my end, you cut out to rephrase what I said.
I can't remember. I think we take him.
Wow. Guys, we got a DM with dementia.
I feel like
I
we
got a
can
lot
keep
going
this
on in my
guy.
head right now. Forgive me.
I'm kidding. I'm teasing.
What did he smile at you for? Maybe that will help jog my memory.
I said who's controlling him.
Oh, okay, yeah. He just smiles. That's all he does. He just smiles at you.
Oh, okay.
So you have it. Yes, we're still talking, Mark.
Guys, this guy is one undead piece of shit. I'll tell you that right now.
Hang up and call
He didn't conjure up any like.
No, my internet
right?
went out, and I don't know what happened on my computer, so I had to pretty much get on the internet with my phone. And yeah, sorry.
Okay, what about my dragon spells?
No, those are actually blocked.
Damn it.
The anti-magic
Oh,
aura the anti-magic aura in there. I allowed divine sense, which technically should have been blocked as well, but I allowed it just because I think it's more interesting for flair. But you know for a fact even your dragon spells would be blocked by this spell. So you know it's a pretty powerful one at that.
Okay. Who is casting this anti-magic spell?
Regnum says nothing. I'm sorry, you guys wanted some tea, correct? I can get you some. He turns and looks at Worthington, who just turns around and slowly walks off, like in a trance.
Wait! Double whiskey!
The individual just sighs.
Twist of
heavily.
lie!
Can you, without any spells, can you naturally charm someone who's undead?
You can certainly try. It would be a charisma roll, and it would have to
Yeah.
be a serious charisma roll, especially against this.
Okay.
Watch her roll it perfectly.
I know, right?
I mean, listen, I have 20 on my charisma now.
Hell yeah.
And I also have bardic inspirations.
True.
When
His
he-
pants
when
just
he
fall
when he
off.
comes back. from
Can I
the-
guidance her as well?
No,
it's no
I
spell.
think I was gonna say. I think I'm allowing a little too much. I think even bardic inspiration is pushing it a little bit, but I'd allow it because technically it's not a spell.
Yeah, I'm just singing karaoke to make people happy.
Yeah, technically it's not a spell, which is why you get away with using bardic inspirations.
Yeah.
Thinking grease.
Sorry. You
The
know
classic.
what
Yep, exactly.
I felt it's about time we met, and you learned that this is not a fight you want to get involved in. Take down Cronons and his bastard children. See if we care. Leave us alone.
Who are we? Oh God, that sounds.
Who are we?
Who are you?
Johnny
Who
the
are you?
tackling
Who are
Alzheimer's
we?
patient. Who am I?
Is there any other Squidwards around?
Where is she? That's my bad, man.
Myself and
Where
my
is she?
myself and my followers wish to be left alone. Wish to be left in peace. Your races have already done enough to cause issue. Leave us the fuck alone.
What is your race?
Okay. Let's got a couple of questions for you here. One, do you hurt people who don't intend to hurt you? Number two, do you control people who don't wish to be controlled if they are, by our judgment, good? 3, do you have any beef with any of the pantheons in this area? 4, what is your relationship to Cronons and his forces? That would be it.
I have a personal one at the end. Are you undead? Which, yes.
You are correct, Paladin. I am of the undead nature. Do you know Muffin
Oh,
Man?
Muffin Man? Wait,
sorry.
who said? Oh, I didn't see the Roll20 chat. I thought you just added Muffin Man in for flair.
No.
Like you were calling someone fat.
Do you hear the Reaper? Oh my god,
Yes,
now we're
I'm
getting bad.
dead, you Muffin Man.
Okay, we'll start. We'll start with the questions
You know
that
what the
Razak
definition
asked.
of insanity is.
He goes, first of all, we have no ties to Cronons and his followers. As far as we're concerned, they are a blight on the world.
All right, that's number 3.
Wait, did he say who he was? Like, species-wise?
No, he hasn't answered what race he is.
Okay.
He looks humanoid. There are no like elven features to him. He looks humanoid, but undead.
Vampire?
No, you've seen vampires. They look a little more intact. This one seems to have... His skin seemed to be more sunken in.
Lich features.
Would he be in the race cheat sheet?
Does he have the white stuff?
Oh.
Nice.
Points of light burn in its empty eye sockets.
So he's like Razak?
No, he has no eyes. He has just points of light where his eyeballs would be.
Rude.
So he's half celestial, maybe?
No,
I
no
would
idea.
know if he is. I don't. I would actually.
Yeah, you would. You would be the only one, and all you've detected is undead.
Okay.
He's not.
Is he just not answering Kerosene questions?
I bet you he's a lich.
Yeah,
Sorry,
does
I'm trying
he-
to answer
yeah,
Razak's
what-
questions, and then everybody keeps sidetracking me with 15 other
Sorry.
questions. For those who have already guessed it out of character, yes, it's a lich. Solve that problem.
That's
Yes.
not fun. Oh God.
Yes. Well, you guys wanted to go here. I tried to warn you.
Yeah, let's take. We can do it.
Um,
So
let's see. Does he control others who don't wish to be controlled, aka those who are of good side? His answer is only if they cross my path.
So, like, you're walking through the park one day, and a really nice person goes by you, and you just make them face.
Hers to kill rising.
I am referring to if they decide to come at us when we have done nothing wrong.
Self-defense.
Well,
Okay.
here's another question for you. What is your definition of nothing wrong?
it's all subjective, baby. Come on now.
Like, killed a single person is nothing wrong, or is genocide, like, starting to get on the wrong side, depending? Just trying to understand here. I'm not, not putting it.
Myself and my followers have already been through an attempted genocide by your races, so forgive me if I don't give a shit about you guys. I am, however, being nice enough to have a
Wow.
conversation with you. We were hunted to almost
And
the brink
what
of
is your purpose?
We were hunted to almost the brink of extinction because you guys feared what you didn't understand.
You're
Well,
kind of blaming us for what our ancestors did.
you
here.
are-
I deeply apologize for my shit-stained family.
Okay.
you're also
Okay,
a lich,
To be
but
fair,
I don't
it's
know
probably
that.
my grandparents.
No, in character, you guys don't know.
We've definitely been talking for about 10 minutes or so. which means it is time for him to make a wisdom check against my persuasion.
Ooh.
He is a lich, though.
Yeah.
Still got to roll.
How's that charisma
If
dough?
he fails that, I'll charm his pants off. Literally. We will
Hell
see
yeah.
which trick.
17.
17 good enough for you?
If he was a woman,
He
lich
fails.
Jesus Christ, God help us all.
But he uses his
There's no
legendary resistance to succeed.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if I could do this anymore.
So you try and
What is
persuade
this?
him. You try and persuade him, but he seems to.
It's versus their wisdom.
Yes,
So it's like
it's a saving throw. Oh, is it? Oh, that's right. Yeah. So he does fail. So never mind.
aha, he's a friend, or he likes me at least.
Yeah, he likes you at least. You're the only one that was able to.
Hey,
ABB
Hey, bud. you see, I can tell that you're quite a powerful magic user, which I can respect. In fact, hey, you know a few things that you don't. You love a couple things.
You are breaking up a little bit on my end, Razik.
He just turned into me for a moment there.
All right, what'd you okay, what do you need me to repeat? Essentially, what I'm saying is that, hey, bud, why don't you let me out of here? I can teach you a few magic spells.
He looks at you. He goes, "I agree. We could learn a lot from each other, but I can't say I trust you enough to allow that.
That's wise.
I will,
Yeah.
however,
That's fair.
make your accommodations for now a little more comfortable."
Speaking of which, where's that whiskey?
Just
not
as you say,
there.
just as you say that, in comes Lord Worthington carrying a tray. You see a bottle of what you Galahad you know is whiskey, and then some little teapot with some teacups.
Is he wearing a little suit?
Jack Daniels.
I'm immediately less mad at this undead lich. Hey, that's
I
pretty cool.
was really ready to teach him quite a few things.
You persuaded him, but it's still one of those. You've managed to convince him that you're at least a worthwhile adversary and at least someone that he can learn from. But he's not quite
Just a
willing to-
likable prisoner.
Yeah, you're a likable prisoner right now, so you may get better treatment later on.
Should
Think
I-
about it this way: he's a lich, and his race is almost extinct. So I mean, he would have
We gotta
probably
procreate.
probably questioning
That's it.
humans
I know, it
and
works with
stuff
liches.
like that.
Oh,
Dwarves.
so can I do a history check on like what I know about liches?
Sure.
I'm
you
actually
can try.
proficient. Can I try as well? I'm
Yes.
proficient in that for some reason.
That is so weird, but yeah.
For
You're
us
proficient in
all.
lichdom?
Oh no,
History's
rather.
fine, yeah.
Hey, would you look at that?
407 years ago.
Nice. From what you guys know, liches are pretty nasty individuals. They were wizards.
Well, we
Liches
don't
are,
even-
liches are bitches, man.
What you know of liches
Has he
are...
said he's a lich?
No. But you're
So
getting
what
the
do you
idea
really-
that he's a powerful spellcaster. He looks like he's seen death at least once. So it's
And
kind of
he's
one of those...
certainly undead. Yeah.
Yeah, he's certainly undead because you not only said that, he's admitted to it. They're coming up with the possible explanations, and Lich is the only one that seems to make sense because Liches are the only ones that were former wizards that wanted to extend their life, and the only way they could find to do it was through the power of becoming a Lich.
Oh,
Basically, most wizards who become liches are just power-hungry assholes who want power. And, the
You keep saying
the
that you
immortal
want
life.
us to leave you alone, but who is we?
Myself and my followers.
We haven't met any others like you, to my knowledge.
The closest thing we've come to it is probably zombies, vampires, dragon
Well,
lich,
the Dracolich
Dracolich.
was...
but we've never
Dracolich.
crossed any liches.
He waves his hand again, and you see a female come down. A very familiar female to you.
This was a personal piece of vengeance because of what she and that man did to his family.
Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah.
I don't know why
Yeah.
background stuff is so funny. I still think the best is the Galitas with the
Woo!
I don't even want to remember what song it is because it'll get. Oh, it's that fucking Robbie Robbins shit. Anyways,
The weird thing is that
Do you
she does
remember?
not seem to have the glazed over eyes.
Who is she?
do we
Yeah,
recognize?
she's
Why is she not
The female
strong?
vampire,
She's the vampire.
Oh,
the one you guys,
hey baby.
the one that got away from you.
They created a problem
Ah,
with.
crap.
They can create a problem with our companion's family. You reap what you sow.
He nods.
So what is your plan ultimately? What is your motivation?
To be left alone to our own devices and to not have more
Well,
hunting
that's-
us.
Super vague, like super
This-
vague.
It is vague, but this could be. We could achieve this as long as there's no further provocation on either side. We didn't go looking for a fight. Our friend had an issue, had a
We didn't
problem.
want to fight you. We were just gonna come for Worthington.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yet
I
you-
mean,
We didn't come for a fight.
he looks right
I
at
was
you.
definitely here for a fight.
He looks right at you, Kerosene, and goes, "Yet you guys scried on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think
Yes.
kicked you out?"
Well, I assumed it was him.
I assumed it was you once we got here.
He actually kind of smiles at that. Worthington is not intelligent enough to be able to pick up on that.
That's for sure.
Well,
Hey.
I can agree with that.
Who wants a high five? This guy.
Yeah, I'll give the Lich a high five for that.
You're all like, "Hey, high five," and he makes no move. He's not getting any closer. He's having a conversation with you. Worthington does place the tray down. He kind of stands about 10 feet back and kind of slides the tray closer to you, and then walks back and stands beside Regnum.
I want to go slap Worthington just because I know he can't do shit about it. I think it'd be funny.
Okay. He's about 5 feet out. How tall are you?
Yeah, Kersey's like 6 foot.
You'll just get within his reach. So I'll say,
Hell
I say
yeah.
you slap him across the face, and it doesn't seem to shake him out of it. He just-
I didn't
I
want
don't
to.
think
I just thought it'd be hilarious in universe. Kersey's like busting up laughing.
Yeah.
I look at our rich. What is his name? Radar?
Regnum.
Rectum.
Regnum.
Not
I
Regnum.
look at Regnum and I look him in the eyes, the glowy, fiery eyes, and I say, "It seems we're talking now, and neither of us have tried to kill the other. Can we get past these bars, please?"
I have nothing to fear from you. He nods to Worthington, who walks back over, unlocks the doors.
Little does he know that liches are not immune to the stun condition.
But he's not trying to kill us. Don't hurt him.
It's a
I-
Lich.
I'm just saying out of character.
He opens the door.
Yeah, Worthington opens the door for you.
I'll eat whatever he's offering us with the from the servant. I want to go tell Worthington, I'm going to list some elven delicacies and tell him to go fetch.
Holy shit! Look at my roll really quick. That's with nothing added to it.
Jesus.
Damn.
Nice.
Does he
maybe the
does he
vampire
do
wanna
it?
spend some time alone.
No, Worthington does not seem to respond to anybody else's commands.
All right.
I will. I'm gonna look at Ragnum. I'm gonna look at Ragnum and say, I understand that you want us to leave your lich alone. I cannot say anything for my comrades. But then I look at Worthington. All I want, and I point at Worthington, and I say, is him. You'll have my word.
It's a good point.
And I'll tell you why. This man slaughtered my family and my people.
Goes into 20-minute break.
Almost slaughtered me. And well, I don't want to go into history, but I just want him.
Another one.
For the first time since you guys have appeared here, he actually seems to contemplate that.
He's actually using his brain, guys.
Now, what'd you say?
Play
Say that
along.
one
He's
more
got a hell of
time.
an
Sorry,
intel.
somebody interrupted.
He seems to contemplate your words, which is the first time, because he's seemed kind of more focused and talking to you guys and answering your questions. But for the first time, he actually gets kind of quiet, and it's hard to tell, but he's not very animate at this point in time. Most of the time, he's he used his hands, his gestures and stuff like that. He's just standing perfectly still, and he's just kind of he looks between you and Worthington, And you see him think and go, "Very well, he's yours." And then he turns around and walks out.
Wait, no. I wanted to have intercourse with him and the vampire lady. That's why I rolled. But no one heard me.
No, I thought
I saw your charisma.
No, come
I just
back,
thought you were
come
randomly
back,
rolling
come
just to check it.
back.
No, I know Karasy's sexy. I don't need to roll for it.
He does not seem affected. The female vampire, however, does.
No, good enough.
She sticks around. You're not sure whether it was by Regnum's orders or just by the fact that she seems attracted to you. But she does, however, hang around. Regnum, however, walks up onto the top of the boat. So you are left with Worthington and the female vampire. You notice
She
it.
watches him walk
You
away.
guys now notice that there are no other guards down here. There haven't been the entire time.
Andy, I'm gonna go find a broom closet for a while.
I will pull out my longsword and I
Wow.
will drive it into Worthington's gut if that's possible.
He just will heal.
I think
Or no,
Really?
we're in a room without magic. Is it still effective?
No, you guys, as soon as you stepped out of the prison, you felt your magic return.
Oh,
Oh,
he's gonna
oh.
regenerate. Don't waste your effort stabbing him.
I go. Okay, where did the lich go? Did he say like what part, or did he just kind of leave the room?
He went. Basically where you guys are at here. Let me draw you a little picture to give you a general idea. So forgive my crappy drawing.
Okay.
it's beautiful.
Smart ass.
It's using invisible ink.
Quick, someone go get an iron.
Yeah, I'll go put it on my screen.
It's a box.
This secondary box is the prison you guys were in.
Oh, okay.
You are now standing
Or imagination.
right about there. There are... Okay, that's crooked. But those are the stairs going up. And that is where he went. So Regnum went up. Regnum went up the stairs. Worthington is standing basically where you guys are because he hasn't moved from the gate door. Mainly because he wasn't told to.
And he has a sword in his gut right now.
Yeah, and he currently has a sword in his gut. The female vampire is right there. So
Does
that
she
gives you
react
general
at all to this?
She seems to doesn't care either way.
Tight.
Yeah,
He's looking at me.
yeah. The female vampire and Kersey do go find. They actually walk up the stairs, and this is where Kersey finds out that it isn't actually the top of the boat. This is actually like mid-level. So she walks Kersey to a room, and they have their fun. Because that's what Kersey said.
Okay, I am going to go look for Ragnum.
Okay. As you go to the top, we'll just make it easy, Mark. You manage to finally finish him off. And then you see a flash of green appear in his eyes, and he currently stands back up.
What the crap?
Oh,
Here,
he's-
use the sword.
Yes,
Don't
I
you mean a sword?
A sword. Yes, I apologize.
Well, I'll chop his dang head off.
Yeah, I'll hand him the Holy Avenger and see what happens.
Okay.
Oh, is he just continuously stabbing?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
he's going hog wild on Worthington at this point.
Oh, you see every ounce of his rage, all that rage that was pinned up is pretty much being laid out on this guy.
Worthington
I'm
won't
picturing-
remember any of this, will he?
Worthington is dead.
It's like a Reservoir Dogs.
Twice
kind
now. He does not get up from the second time.
of
So
thing.
he's like actually really, really real dead this time.
As far as you know.
Check his
Oh,
pulse. He's
wow.
got 50
Okay,
wounds in him.
he's
but-
not. As far as you know, means he isn't.
As far as you know, he is dead. There is a headless body laying on the ground at Galitas' feet. Razik, as you go up to
Just
the...
knocking his head across the room.
Okay.
Holding.
Wait a minute. The shield of chivalry shall be destroyed when light comes to lifeless eyes. Lifeless eyes, like a lich. Possibly?
Possibly.
Shield of Chivalry?
The shield
Yeah,
of
find the
chivalry
shield.
shall be destroyed when blades pierce the sky and light comes to lifeless eyes.
Glad somebody remembered that. Who scrolled up?
Power of notes.
Oh.
I have notes here.
So that's a hell of a scroll, because I know it's up there some ways.
Yeah.
Razik, as you get to the middle level, you just catch the glimpse of the rest of the robes of Regnum going up another set of stairs. You can hear activity above you.
Say, Regnum,
He
I'm
stops.
following.
why don't you tell me a little bit more about yourself and your kind? How did you all come to be?
We all started off as whatever race we were born to, but we realized there was a higher calling. And due to forces within that were in control and those who didn't like our form of magic, we were hunted.
A higher calling that necessitated a longer life, perhaps?
For the purposes of what we needed, it was required, yes.
So I'm guessing it must be a pretty big plan in order to require that kind of lifespan.
Who are we talking to right now?
You're busy. You're busy with the vampire. Razik's actually talking to Regnum.
Oh, okay.
I came with.
And
Oh,
yeah,
look at his ass in here.
Gletus is
And-
busy curb stomping the corpse.
Gale's followed them up there too. There's nothing left down there.
Okay. The tea was actually good if you guys had it.
Oh yeah, of course. Gale is immune to poison. He has no reason not to.
Well, as far as you know,
Oh,
it
yeah,
wasn't
I
even
guess-
poisoned.
Well, there's also the fact that he probably wouldn't need to.
Yeah, you have a feeling that if this guy is as powerful as you guys are thinking, he probably wouldn't need poison to get rid of you. He could have had you, kept you locked in the cage and just killed you guys there. You know, just straight attacking you that way, but he chose not to.
So tell me about this purpose. Why did you need to be so long-lived to see it out?
Everybody has a goal in life, Razik.
Or unlife?
Or unlife in this case.
I think that's the funniest joke I've ever heard, and I laughed for 10 minutes straight.
To fulfill my goal.
Go ahead, that is.
To fulfill my goal in the time frame I was given, I would not have been able to fulfill it.
Ah, you were given this, so some higher power, perhaps?
Oh, you misunderstand. I mean, when I was born a human, I only had so long a lifespan to live. To fulfill the goal I wanted would not have been able to be completed within that lifespan.
So this is no higher calling, it's just your own will, is that right?
There's a higher calling involved as well. As I said, we have no qualms with everyone else. We may have our disputes as to our personal preferences, but what you people do with your lives is completely up to you. What we choose to do with ours is ours. All we wish is to be left
Well-
alone. Worthington made a promise long ago that he was forced to keep.
Well, let me tell you, I understand what it's like to be persecuted when the world doesn't care for you the way you are. It's rather hard, and I've also said about reversing that. And you can rest assured that under our power, you won't be persecuted just for being the way you are. choosing to be undead, that's fine.
Mm,
He goes,
no.
hold that thought. Why don't we take a trip and stand on top of the boat to see if your opinion stays the same? He walks right up.
Oh, shit, I'm
I
following him. I'm expecting an
cautious.
army.
Do you like whiskey,
So-
Lich?
I follow.
I also kind of I want to take Galahad aside and be like, just cool it, just all right. Cool.
Okay,
Just
out of
wait
character.
on what's going on.
Yeah, I just want to like see what's going on. Out of character, like I just want to. This guy might be like a good guy somehow, but I highly doubt it.
But also, Razik is very good at lying.
Yeah.
You can message me in your head.
Galladus would look at this guy. I can't remember his name.
Worthington.
No,
Unless you
not
caught,
Worthington,
you caught up to
another
Regnum then? You caught up to the others?
Yeah, I went to Ragnum. I look at Ragnum and I say, I never thought I would say this to an undead, but thank you for giving me Worthington.
He outlived his usefulness. As you guys appear on deck, the entire deck is crawling with undead creatures.
Hell yeah!
We did the Black Pearl.
Razik tries he just tries to stone face it as best he can. It's like, oh, great, of course, sure.
Are we talking zombies or actual like sentient?
You see
undead?
you see some are skeletons. You see some that look like zombies. They all look like they've been given specific tasks. You see others that you can't really tell. You're not real sure about them. But they're definitely undead just by the way they look. But you're not sure what type of undead they are. And you do see a few Dragir,
Like not undead, but
like vampires,
Like-
like the
okay.
human vampires that
Oh.
you guys know.
I was thinking more like the Skyrim Dragir.
No.
I'll just offer a quick when I see all these undead. Offer a quick prayer to Solana to guide me through this.
Okay.
Out of character, I'm fucking excited as hell.
I know. This is like a Pally's dream. Wet dream right here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whole boat
Against
full of
someone that
undead?
uses
Are you fucking
magic,
kidding?
too. Ah! Yeah, please.
Now,
That
let's
was
continue
supposed
this.
to be a good joke, but it
Let's
wasn't.
continue this conversation, Razik.
right. I understand what you mean by your kind. Sure,
He smiles.
but what purpose were you trying to see out that requires you to operate in this kind of time scale?
One that I don't think you're prepared to hear just yet, because I don't think you'll enjoy the outcome.
Well, you might be surprised, my friend. What do you say? I think I can handle it. I mean, us men of magic, we can see the big picture. Can
Alright.
I roll a persuasion on that, or
Yeah,
what
go
was
ahead.
he about to say?
Just so you guys know, Steele has to drop out. He's exhausted and has an early session, or early job tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
Peace.
All right, see you, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh, baby!
Hell
Nice.
yeah. Hell yeah. That is
Give me
ah,
them
perfect
secrets.
timing. That is perfect timing.
What did you ask for?
Well,
again?
assuming.
I asked, like what purpose was he trying to seek? What was he trying to do, and why did it
That's
take
right.
such a long time scale? And he told me, he said it that I might not like it.
Because there are forces that will descend upon this plane of existence that will tip the balance of the world. And me and my kind and my fellow like-minded individuals don't wish to be under the rule of that individual.
Are we? I'm assuming we're not talking about Chronons.
No. He is destined for failure.
Is this a god?
It's immortal, per se.
Immortal? Well, what are you worried about?
Because
I mean,
this-
we've just been we've been at war with a god for who knows how long now.
You've been at war with his minions. You haven't been at war with a god yet. Big difference. Much more
Fair
power
enough.
to be dealt with in that aspect.
We've got the Pantheon on our side for taking care of that aspect of it, but I mean, we have been facing a force for quite a bit. But what one per this effort, all this time?
There was not a given time when this particular unique mortal would arrive, but everything we've managed to acquire through our studies and knowledge say that this being is mortal yet not, that they wield power beyond comprehension, and that this world will fall to its might.
Some sort of demigod.
I guess if that's the best way to put it. That's the,
How would you put it?
well, demigod is probably the closest.
While being there.
And to prevent that from happening, there must be those in power who are willing to stand against it.
But not you. You're gonna run?
No, I'm building my forces intentionally to attempt to stop it.
Well, tell you what, my friend, if you can agree not to harm the individuals who do not attack you, also you make great efforts to warn them that you mean them no harm if they have some sort of prejudice against you, well, I think we might be able to ally ourselves with you and these people in order to take on whatever force. But in order to do that, we're going to need some information about who this person is, what they're capable of, where they are, and how they operate.
As I said, we were only given visions of what's supposed to happen. We do not know the time frame, but so far, in my original lifetime, it didn't happen. It is supposed to happen within the next 1,000 to 2,000 years. And I know from previous experience with the other races that most of you, no offense to your group here, most of you will choose to fight amongst yourselves rather than unite unless it's against Chronons, per se. Chronons, I believe, is merely a distraction.
Well, if I know anything about people, it's they don't really plan for the long term. Even us dwarves on our scale, we can see out to, I don't know, a few thousand years, something to benefit generations on down the line. But that's a big time scale, especially to expect people to prepare against 1,000, 2,000 years.
It's unsure of the exact time frame. There are rumors that this individual, or at least some of his forces, have already made landfall.
What do you know about these rumors? And where?
Several places have reported seeing beings of a strange nature, those not native to our world.
By not native to our world, what do you mean? Where might they come from? Which of the planes do you think?
No one can be real sure. The images, as are so often done, tend to be a bit cryptic. All we can do is expect the worst and prepare as such.
Is there any way we can see these images? Impart them to us, perhaps?
He sits and he thinks for a second. I don't know. We're still not even sure where they came from. We just know that there were images sent to us in our dreams or when we were meditating. It seems that whoever is behind these visions seems to handpick their targets.
Do you mind pointing us in the direction of one of these targets?
You're looking at one. Hence why I became what I am.
Well, who'd you piss off?
What do you mean?
Well, to become a target, you have to do something, and
No, I meant
I'm sure you were.
I meant target of the visions. Whoever sent the visions seemed to be preparing the world for the coming problem. So we were receivers of those visions. That's what I meant by targets.
Well, mine must have got lost in the mail. Damn.
He chuckles. I can tell you one thing. I know what they look like.
What's that?
Black-skinned warriors with long white hair and silver runes decorating their body.
Bum, bum, bum.
That rings a couple bells.
Sound like
Yes,
draft.
it does.
So were they bad guys?
You don't know. According to this guy, that's what he's saying.
We have like friends that are drow, don't we? Like that.
They're not drow.
Well, not friends,
The
but
one where we decided to destroy an entire city?
We did. I did sort of
They're not
kill
drow.
like 20 of them with my dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
is it the Nemesi? Like,
Would I like know where
All
like
of the
some
above.
drow cities are as a dwarf? Or can I
thought
like
you
do
said
like
it
a
was
history
drow.
check with that?
It's not drow. The
Oh, it's
description,
not a drow.
the description he gave with the dark skin was what keeps you guys focused on the whole drow. But he specifically said they have silver runes adorning their entire body. This definitely draws some recollection for all of you because you've run across individuals of this kind.
Okay, so
Hey, man.
Nemesi?
Yeah.
No, you would
The
recall.
aliens.
Oh, sorry, no, not
Yes,
Nemesi.
the Evans.
Evans?
The Delzorns, I'm sorry. I forgot to change her name again.
Okay. So that okay, out of character. Those are the advanced peoples, correct?
Yes, those are the ones that came and have been assisting with you defeating Chronons.
Those sons of bitches.
But
yeah, that sucks.
here's the catch. A, you know the creature before you is undead. You guys have pretty much figured out he's a lich. The one thing you do know about liches is they tend to be evil creatures.
Oh, okay. So
So he could be
Yeah,
lying his ass off to you and telling you a bunch of shit.
I totally would have bought it.
Yeah,
So-
poor Galahad.
Like,
I
how
mean,
did
even-
Jesse was buying
even
all
with
this.
the persuasion, he'd be telling me lies. What a bastard.
He's telling it from
Um,
his point of view. In his eyes, it's not a lie. Maybe whoever,
Oh, fair.
what he said is he was given these visions by someone. So that usually means probably a god or someone is trying to start a ruckus. And whoever this particular deity or whatever, entity is that's giving these visions seems to be focused on worrying about those particular allies who have done nothing against you guys and have only helped your cause.
Right. Everyone's the good guy in their own story.
Correct.
Okay. So these okay, out of character, I want to ask those Deljorans that we set to free in the city that were like locked away with the AI. Was that in the vision or was that in
That was in the
the
vision.
real?
That was in the vision.
Okay.
You guys actually never ran across them physically. It was through the vision that you guys saw all this. So you saw what was going to happen.
But we know they exist.
Yes, you know they exist because everything that you remember from that time frame, that 300-year vision, has been true so far. Like everything you remember, all the powers you have, your knowledge has. Yeah, I know it's confusing, but that's why I like it. Like all the knowledge you got from that 300 years, you still retain. So you haven't lost anything.
Are we able to insight this guy and see what's going on?
You can try. Yeah. Unfortunately, you guys don't know him well enough to know whether or not
Nope.
he's lying or not. Plus his
Sounds good.
undead face is hard to read. From what you can tell, he seems like he's being honest, at least from his point of view. Remember, anybody who's going to tell you a story is going to tell it from their point of view and how they see things. Whether or not it's true, that requires more research. But as far as he sees it as these guys are a blight, that they're going to cause problems, and that he must do something to stop it.
Can we message each other in our minds now that we're out of that magic thing?
You could have before. It was just a little strained because normally you guys went through the dragons for it,
No,
which
someone
made
told me no.
it super quick.
I see.
It's just a little more strained right now.
I'll just message Razak. Are we seriously just letting this guy walk out of here?
He has yet to harm anybody.
Well, we
He's
don't.
an undead lich.
He is.
Well, I fired an arrow at him, and he turned the arrow, and yet he was still allowed me to kill Worthington, so...
And he is.
I did promise that I wouldn't lift a finger to him and his undead allies.
And the one thing
we
you
don't
do
have to
know.
do it today.
I mean, the one thing you guys do know is the fact that he was a powerful mage at one point in time. Just his look gives that away. The fact that he was able to deflect that, arrow rather quickly tells you the kind of power he has. He has yet to use any of that power other than the anti-magic shell that he put around the cage.
Well, maybe not today, but we can't just let him just say, hey, go make your fortress. It'll all be fine. Just
Well, I
don't
mean-
hurt anyone. We'll trust you to not do that, even though you have an army of skeletons of people whose undeath have been taken from them. Literally can't get rest because this guy. I mean, there's a reason that necromancy is evil. Like this
Yes.
guy is literally evil.
Yeah, you're realizing that his power.
That's how that works.
You're realizing his power is necromancy. That much you can tell. No one's real sure how necromancy actually works. Only those who are in the necromantic, school would have known how it actually worked. You guys aren't sure whether or not these souls have passed on and he just animated dead corpses, or if he pulled their souls back in order to give them some kind of fighting chance. That's the catch, is you don't know how powerful he is and what he's done. To be a lich,
Am I bad yet?
it's only been a little bit. You are having way too much fun with a vampire who's much more flexible than you realized.
Oh, well,
Damn.
from
It's a quickie.
from a distance, I'll input things.
I mean, unless you just want a quickie with a vampire, just say you did a
No,
vampire.
no, it's okay. I'll
Okay.
take-
Kira's like, hell no, I'm taking my sweet ass time.
Oh, necromancy isn't, the worst thing ever. Remember
is she
when
like-
you speak to the dead?
Is she like poking her head out of the closet?
No.
No,
Just
I'm
like,
From
No,
a
remember, you guys
distance,
do have a
I'm
mental
talking to you
connection.
guys through dragons.
No, you guys
Yeah.
are talking to each other through each
Oh,
other's
okay.
telepathy that you've managed to gain
Yeah.
through your amulets. That allows you that connection. That's why it's a little strained, is because it's not normally done that way. You guys haven't used it a lot because you've been using your dragons for that. You're now learning that your amulets also give you telepathy to your other associates.
Right. I am wireless calling you guys.
Yeah, pretty
to
much.
Inform you that necromancy isn't bad because
It is
I
in my
use
eyes.
necromancy.
this is Kerosene thinking about baseball.
It's
What?
the rat all over again.
What? Nah. Yeah, necromancy, it's a bit of a bad rap. I mean, even I have a spell or two that dabbles let's say, in that kind of field.
Okay, there's
Doesn't
a,
necessarily.
oh, let's just say right now there's I have Revivify, which is a necromancy spell. It's not a necromancer spell, though. You know what I mean? Like it's not something a lich would you wouldn't use Revivify. He would use Animate Dead.
Are your morals
There's a
getting in
certain
your
part.
way?
There's a certain point. Well, it's kind of I have to do.
It's Galahad. I mean,
Goddamn-
this is exactly what you expect from him.
Pretty
Non
much.
Is it-
neutral character.
Is it at all like like what do we know about undeath? Like, is it like, are you just using some bones that no one was really using that were lying around, or are you like ripping their soul from the very?
Anymore upon your death anyway.
That's what I'm saying. Like no one's using these bones, so I might as well make a warrior out of them. Or is it more like I'm pulling a soul from the afterlife in order to use it to my
So
own
it's
needs?
basically you're just like well, wouldn't that essentially just be like something like hold person or something like that? Only you're holding a bunch of bones together. It's not like necromancy. It's just
It's-
like you're physically
there's-
holding them together. Like
Not
You're
even.
getting
It wouldn't
golden
even be as bad as hold person, because it's exactly like, I don't know, floating a book around, because
that's-
there's nothing in this matter.
then that kind of calls into question the entire school of necromancy, because it's not necromantic magic. It's literally just controlling. It's just normal wizard shit.
Well, I mean, it does work in the field of death. I mean, we work in the field of
But
death.
it's not, because
I
that's
work
what
in
you're
the field of
saying, is
death to
that
cause
it's not the
damage.
spirit. You're just controlling the bones, so it doesn't really have anything to do with death. It's you might as well have just gotten a bunch of rocks together.
It controls the spirits. You guys can
Okay.
look in
Yeah, that's what
your
I-
spell books.
Yeah.
From what you guys know, and I'll give you this general knowledge, and it's very generic knowledge of necromancy, because it's a school that is frowned upon by most other arcane schools due to its touches. It does sometimes impede the soul's progress, but not always. It's just the fact that people are freaked out by someone raising the dead up and using them as soldiers or, cannon fodder. The general populace does not like seeing a bunch of undead creatures walking around, so the general populace hates it.
So they just don't like the smell.
I mean, it's one of those. It depends on what spell he used to. Either he animated the corpse, which is just animating a dead body with no soul in it, or he pulled the soul back, which would require a bit more effort on his part. It all depends.
So then,
It's more of a case by case basis. Depends on what he did. From what you can tell, looking around you, most of these are like skeletal and zombie like creatures. So he probably just did a shit ton of animate dead, which means he had no pull on the soul whatsoever.
so Animate Dead really shouldn't be a necromancer spell, because it's just controlling inanimate objects. Really, is what you're saying. That just doesn't make sense
Still
to me.
putting
Sort
life
of.
back
Because why
in
not
it.
just make them out of rocks or something else? Why did they have to go and find bones if they can
You're
just
putting
animate
life and
anything
consciousness
at all?
back into them.
The reason why
Be like
the reason
ghosts?
the reason it's under the necromantic area
So
is
it's controlling their spirits. What?
No,
Hold
the
on.
ghost is not a spirit. The ghost is leftover bits of a person's. No,
now we're getting philosophical.
like the soul goes and
ghost
leaves
is
the body.
a ghost is
The,
just
a
like
ghost is
mindless
the
thing.
emotional impressions of the person at their time of death that manifests in the form of a spirit, which is not a soul.
Whereas the soul is you. It is your being entirely you.
That's why
talking
ghosts
about
are always angry. Like they're angry at they want revenge. People
No,
want
there's
more than
sad
that.
ghosts too.
Yeah, well, dude.
Yeah,
Don't
well,
be a
it's
sad
whatever they
ghost
felt
when
when
they
they
die.
died.
This is too philosophical.
It's
D&D,
the
give me
rat
your
again.
Okay, I'll just ask the DM, because I would say I wouldn't like, but apparently
one of those questions
necromancy
only
isn't
you
a
can
thing. So do
answer.
paladins
Just
just not care then, because it's not a thing? Apparently, it's just bones being held together. So why would I give a shit? Why do I do extra damage to these things? Like I just don't understand
Okay.
the thing
Okay.
behind.
Let me try and explain. For Animate Dead, if you actually read the spell, it doesn't pull the soul. All it does is animate the dead body. So all it does is bring forth a life. Technically, in a sense, it's under necromantic because some of their essence still remains. So in a sense, I guess you could say part of their soul is still there. Because if you look at like certain zombies, certain skeletons, they retain some of the knowledge they possess. You can look in the you can look in the monster manual and you can see that. I know, right? A lot of debates go on in this group, but it's great because it's a lot of interesting stuff. I know, I love it too.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, so technically, and I'm probably a little off on this, but a majority of the spells that necromancers use would involve keeping a piece of the soul, not the whole soul, but at least keeping a piece of it, because some of the creatures that are animated retain some of their properties.
So then I would care about that because it specifically says in my thing to protect life, shelter life, all that kind of shit. And
Yeah.
he's basically holding their life here, a part of it, anyways. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's one of those. As a paladin, this is it's very tough for you
Touchy
to.
situation.
Yeah, it's very tough for you not to want to just smite everything and say fuck it all, because that's just what you are, and that's what your training has been.
I'm not even saying let's go Hulk out right now and just fucking smash through a horde of undead. I'm saying let's not let this guy get a base, establish an army of undead for quote unquote protection, and then just let him do his thing because he promised us that he won't do anything even though he's an evil lich.
I never said that, Karis. You don't even put words into my mouth. Never said no more moral and philosophical debates. I am more than willing to have this kind of interesting D&D related conversation. As long as it stays that way.
Emphasis.
And you have to put your foot down.
I have to specify it has to be D&D related, and this in this case is.
Well, this would have like character implications for
It
me
does.
if like necromancer, like this is actually something I would need to know.
Yes, I mean for Galahad it is a hard thing for him to control himself, because this is what he sees is what he's been trained to fight against, his entire, ever since he decided to become a paladin. And, so to see this firsthand and to see it all around him, and, one big bad guy standing in front of him that, has the power to do this and probably has resurrected all of these guys, it bothers him. And on a moral scale, it would bother him to continue seeing this. But what's your intelligence, Galahad?
Oh, it's actually not terrible for some reason. It's 14.
Okay, that's not bad. You would know enough to know that at this point in time, even with your powers
We'd be
the way they are, this would not be a battle you guys would win. A, because you're in the
Yeah.
middle of the
Well,
ocean. I mean, it's one of those. Right now, let him do whatever he wants. But it's one of those you
yeah,
want to
that's
keep.
all I'm saying.
Yeah, you want to keep an eye on him because he's definitely not for the greater good, which is
Trustworthy.
what you guys are.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You guys are all straight about the greater good. So I mean,
We've just been standing in front of this guy for like 10 minutes, just in silence, talking in our minds, necromancy and shit.
yeah, I know.
I've been playing it cool, just kind of like looking out at the ocean. And...
I've just had my brows furrowed, like I'm clearly trying to. It's hurting my
make it
Looks like
all
he's
green
constipated.
face.
Yeah, it hurts my brain trying to do this right now. Okay, we got
The only
that
thing I could
cleared
say
up.
is, I mean,
So
it
what I'll
depends
say
on
in
how you
character,
want
like
to-
in my mind, it's just
I mean, 'cause
let's just keep an eye.
That
on
question's
let him
always a
go for
tough
now.
one, and I never
keep
seem to
an
get
eye.
it right, anyways.
I just want to. Why don't we just ask him in person? I want to ask the man himself and see what he actually has done.
Okay.
Hey, Ragnum. I've been looking at these folks out here working your ship, and you got me wondering. Are these just sort of inanimate bodies that you have given some movement and some semblance of self-preservation to, or are these actual souls of some folks?
Most of them are just animated corpses that serve a purpose. They would be considered, yeah, they would be considered. Most other races would consider creatures like this cannon fodder, but they do serve a purpose.
Fair enough, but I did catch that you did say most. What about the others that aren't?
There are some that requires a little more intelligence to them in order to be able to function on the level I need them to.
How do you achieve that intelligence?
Timing. Lots of good timing.
Now, what exactly do you mean by that? I guess what I'm getting at is, like, do we use souls to enhance these abilities? Is that something that's possible?
For some, yes. For others, like the skeletal individuals here, it's not so much the soul as one knows it. It's more like what's left, what's left of their essence remains. We don't always fully go over to the dark, light side, whatever. We don't fully pass on to the next realm. Spectromancy.
Okay, all right. I feel like I get you. So, the ones that do require a little bit of something extra, are how do you select these individuals? Have they done something wrong, or?
Honestly, it really depends. If they served a decent purpose in life, and I feel that they can serve a better purpose in their, in their afterlife, then I would say that they are worthy to bring back. Other than that,
I'm listening to this bullshit. I couldn't control myself. I just walked downstairs and grabbed that bottle of whiskey and just by myself.
That's not a great boy. That's not in, obviously not in character.
Yeah, that'd be.
I would want that to be.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Like he thought he was talking to himself, and he accidentally.
Okay, I see. I understand. That's a smart way of dealing with that.
it is the best way. Usually we use creatures such as the female vampire. They are able to retain more and make it easier. And they're a little easier to control than these things. Plus, they learn from battles, not stand, take a beating, and die again.
However, I will tell you, you know what put people at a lot more ease on the mainland, especially towards your cause, which I will champion, by the way, is that if you only focus on those who are the most vile, who a lot of times are more intelligent and more capable than the rest of the populace, given that they are able to accomplish so much suffering in the world.
Okay,
So if
I'm
you would
sorry.
only-
Are you trying to make this lich be an altruistic person that only?
I'm trying to turn him into fucking Dexter, all right?
I got where he was going with it long ago.
But I'm trying to put it in like the most rational and like Machiavellian sense so that it clicks with him.
Don't get me wrong, a majority of the ones that I have brought back were from rather dark sides, and those who have done plenty of wrong. As you said, they do have stronger intelligence and stronger willpower to remain.
Well,
It'd
I'd
be harder
recommend,
it would be harder, say, for your paladin friend to be brought back because of his beliefs, because of his strength of character, strength of conviction.
Fucking right.
Sure, his bullheaded stubbornness knows no bounds, I'm sure.
Even in an undead.
Easy to bring back as long as you lured me in with some sweet.
So,
Even while
Uh,
I'm
if-
an asshole.
what I'm trying to tell you is that you would not get the same amount of animosity at all from the people on the mainland if you were to only focus on those that have harmed the world or the people at large. They may even come to welcome you, and that might make your entire purpose all the much more easy.
We prefer to stay to our own little part in the world, which is exactly where we're heading now. I have agents throughout the world who determine the next possible candidate, or those who have dove into the world that we find fits our line of thinking.
Can I attempt to persuade him to change his mind
About what?
about Can I persuade him to attempt to change the whatever the rules in place are to select people to so that it's just the bad
He'd be
folks?
cutting his army in half essentially. Or less
I
than
agree
that.
with
Not
that.
Probably
really.
more than that.
Not really. Think
Can we
about it.
take a
That
short
w-
break? Both my dogs in. I have
Way
to
more
walk them.
probably good people.
Okay. Well, we'll
Yeah,
figure
let's
this
take a
out
quick
after the break.
let's take a quick 5-minute break then. Or
Yeah, I'm dead.
yeah, make it about 10
Depending on
minutes.
how long my dogs take, yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be a little longer than
I
5
gotta go
minutes.
make
These
some food,
dogs
and
are
that's all.
stubborn.
All right, 10-minute break then.
All right.
Sounds good.
Be right back.
That question is one of those that's very hard to answer. Just because I never answered.
All right, who's still here?
Like I don't know what to put. I mean, it's one of those.
I'm leaving. Hold on a second.
Okay.
It was just an order.
Yeah, but it's hard to put that in order because you don't know what they're looking for. Some would say it goes from the management down or the specialties down. I mean, each store is different, and that's where it gets weird. Like your store, you have your managers, and then you have your AP and stuff like that. We deal with the rest of it.
That had nothing to do with that.
Question number second one down. Which one was the other one?
It wanted you to put the sentences in order of how they should be.
Oh, see, I wasn't looking at that one. I saw it.
That's the only one I had up.
No, there was one right below it. That's the one I was looking at because I saw the other one was answered, so I was like, oh, okay. So that's what I thought you were talking about is the one that wasn't answered.
No, I just put one in there just to, until my brain could figure out what the hell was going on.
Well,
So I just
how about
put
you
one.
try not doing it this late at night when you're already exhausted?
Well, because I gotta work tomorrow too.
You shouldn't
my
even
day
have to
off.
work for like 3 hours.
It doesn't matter. It's 4 hours.
Why so far?
Because I got penalized for my fucking time.
For what?
From what I was told, I took an hour and a half fucking lunch the other day. I don't remember when I took an hour and a half fucking lunch, but apparently the associates complained and I got penalized.
Look who's fucking talking. They're all just.
I know.
Like I said, you've made enemies, and they're all. It sounds like they're teaming up to try and get rid of you.
Pretty much.
Because it makes no fucking sense. And I guarantee half the ones that are talking shit about other people that you don't like to your face are talking shit about you to others. Like that meme one says, listen to listen to how people talk about others, because that's probably how they're talking about you behind your back. I mean, your whole store's fucked up, but then again, this whole area is fucked up. It's just shadiness on top of shadiness. And unfortunately, until we move, it's just something we're gonna have to deal with.
Well, Thorne said that he'd help us out Monday if he can get the car. And he'll take us job hunting because he's going to go job hunting too. But as it stands right
If he
now,
gets it done.
Duval told him that last night that yeah, the sex is great between them two, but he has feelings for him. But as it stands right now, he's going to stay with Nick and see where it evolves to. So he's pretty much confusing the fuck out of Thorne. Or, let me tag him along for as long as I can.
Yeah, that's how it lets me string him along. See how long before he finally gets enough of it.
I don't know, Thorne's so upset and everything. He's throwing up little bits of blood here and there.
It's because he's stressing himself out.
Yeah.
People don't realize how much stress can affect one. Everybody thinks that, I'm just stressed out. Yeah, you let stress affect you enough, it starts affecting your body because your body reacts to your mind. Mind is a very powerful weapon, and people don't realize it. Your mind has more control over your body than you think. I've seen people who could be completely fine half the day, and then they think they're sick, and then suddenly they are.
Well, the way I look at it, and I need to get away from that fucking job. I don't have a choice. My stress level is way too high at all times.
Yeah, you definitely need to get away from it.
But like I was told, and by the way, I only told one associate that I was gonna, or two associates I was gonna go fucking job hunting on Monday, and they're not associates that I work with. They're part of a total different branch
Doesn't matter.
in the store. So I want to see how long it takes till it gets back to Amy. Not that she can do anything. I can take a fucking point. It's not a big deal. But or if Amy finds out because she gets a phone call from one of these places asking about my work ethic. And I just wish I was a fly on the wall to hear what the fuck she says.
Yeah, that's the catch. You don't know. Technically, they're not supposed to say anything ill will. Like I know for a fact they're not supposed to. Federal law regulates that they can't. They could, like the question comes up, would you rehire this person? And the only thing they can really answer is yes or no. Like they can't go into details. They're not supposed to. Now, whether or not that actually happens is a different story. Like when I was working Spencer's, my store manager had to do phone calls for references and stuff. And there were a few people he straight up told us, he was like, honestly, he was like, he's like, I talked to the managers, and just from the vibe I got from the managers, I wouldn't hire these fuckers. And then there were some he was like, well, the vibe was kind of blah, so I hired him. And then, like 2 days later, me and the rest of the crew were like, no, get rid of this fucker.
Well, I mean, it just kills me because of some fact I know she's not gonna adhere to that. She's
I mean, they're not supposed to, but that's the catch. I mean, because it ultimately boils down to is maybe you just weren't fit for that particular job. Maybe in another job you'd be better off. And that's why they're not supposed to say anything. Because, the most you could say is, Amy could say, no, I won't rehire, or yes, I would. That's what she's supposed to say.
well, from the way I understood it, I was outside with an associate the other day, and I said, I need to just quit this fucking job. And they made the comment that, well, I told you about Matthew telling me, I was a great associate, and he couldn't see himself working at a store without me there. Well, it got back to Amy,
What a shocker.
and Amy goes, I wouldn't let you quit.
She can't stop you.
Technically. But, she was like,
She could put in her 2 weeks' notice and then just never show up again.
well, she turned around, she goes, I'd offer you anything to keep you there.
And then fire half your staff.
Okay, I'm back.
That's the only way you're going to get me to stay. That would be my exact response to
I'm
it.
back.
You want me to stay? You have to fire half these people because half these people are not.
Wall's not here.
Pay, as they put it.
I
they're not
think it's
worth
just
paying
you and I
for
back right now.
Which
Razik
is,
was
to be
here
quite honest,
before I left,
none
but
of them are worth it.
No. But I think they should
Yeah, I'm
start
not too
doing
sure.
like
She'll be right back for like 2 seconds.
all right.
Okay, back.
We all back yet?
I am. And Galitas, I think.
Yeah, I'm here.
Kerosene?
Yes, I am back.
Okay.
That place is hiring line cooks and shit on
Okay, I'm here.
She was doing applications today and yesterday.
All right.
She said she will.
All we need is steel.
If we get.
I think he's out for the night.
Yeah, Steel is
Or
gone
is he
for the
coming
night.
back?
No, he said
Okay.
he's gone for the night.
I wondered why he was so quiet.
Had to get some sleep.
I'd rather go on a Monday. Because is this the same place where the lady responded
All right, so
rather
we're
rudely?
still talking to this gentleman. Well, I'm downstairs.
Yeah, you're downstairs
Being very
drinking
I'm,
whiskey.
up, I'm like upstairs.
Kerosene
yeah.
busy.
So what's his reaction to my proposition? Also, is it another persuasion?
Yeah, I'd say roll a persuasion roll.
Can I get advantage because he is charmed?
He's not in a sense charmed. You just managed to convince him earlier that you weren't as bad. So I don't officially
No,
count
I
it.
mean, well, but my diplomat says that they should make a persuasion check against their wisdom. If they fail, they're charmed, and I got a crit on it too.
Well, here's the catch. He's immune to charm. He's undead. Undead creatures usually are immune to charm. Which I mean, I allowed your awesome persuasion roll, and you got a lot of information, and he's in a friendly attitude towards you. He's not charmed. He's just being more friendly to you because you've given him no reason not to.
Definitely the chillest lich I've met so far. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much right now he's just chill lich.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
That's
yeah.
a terrible roll.
Unfortunately, he's immune to charm, so you can't really charm him, but you can, at least try and persuade him that maybe there's a better way. Whether or not it goes. What am I missing? Cowhead just being random.
No, I don't know how you're gonna persuade a lich to just drop some of his army to be a good guy. I guess the persuasion is that it would be a more effective army, but he would have less. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is he would be met with a lot less animosity, and I would also agree to talk to people in order to stop them from persecuting him, which would serve his goals even further. Although he would have basically you're at war with less people, but your recruitment rate is slightly lower.
Also, he would need to drop the higher beings. He'd have to drop anything other than just his cannon fodder, essentially.
No.
Yes.
I'm allowing him with the higher beings as long as they're evil, and I don't
you're
really.
allowing. Oh, I see.
Well, I mean,
No,
what's the big like? Okay, well, you want the higher beings to do what exactly? Like you want the evil, hypothetical evil people.
Galahad is not down for any undead. Period. He's going to make this a personal vendetta if he has to. That's kind of where he's at with it. He doesn't do undead. That's kind of period, especially liches. Even though he's chill and gave me whiskey. One or two or three, I think it was.
One.
It was definitely 3.
No, DM said he rolled for me.
Oh, did he?
Talking about when Galahad got laid.
Oh yeah, I rolled for Kersey. She had 14.
Oh damn!
It's Kersey, man.
Anyways, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Make any deal you want, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying let's fight him right now, but eventually, it's gonna be an issue.
Yeah, common sense would weigh in and be like, this is not a fight right now that you want, because
Yeah,
A, you're
that's for
outnumbered,
sure.
B, you're not sure how powerful this lich is and what he can do, so you don't want to find out. I mean, you already know that he's able to cast anti-magic pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm not picking a fight right now. We'd get fucking slaughtered. But
Even if you survived, do any of y'all know how to pilot a boat?
Oh, sure we
There
did.
we go.
Try.
There's your answer.
Can't be that hard. Come on.
What kind of check would that be?
Good question. I don't know. I think I'd have to do an intelligence check for that one.
Yeah, they took away vehicles.
Yeah, he seems to listen to you, and kind of nod at some things. But you get the feeling that the way he's done things is the way he's going to continue to do things. So he may very well nod and agree to your face, but he's probably going to do whatever he wants anyways. He does say that, he did tell you that, he has agents that work on his behalf elsewhere. So, I mean, it's not really that problematic. You're assuming that his agents are probably one race or another and probably still alive. I mean, you don't know, but that's a good assumption. It's hard to convince people when you're undead.
Now this guy, he's pretty. I'll give him. He would have convinced me with that fucking story if it isn't true, anyways.
You're lucky I didn't roll a persuasion check.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's pretty interesting with his.
We're gonna try to inject you to the next step in the tier.
Witches are smart.
Yeah, this is not a weak one, and I've set him up. I mean, his stats are a bit different than what you find in the monster manual, so he's a little more like he's up there a little more ways than what's written.
Good.
Can't wait to fuck him up.
You might want to challenge rating 21
Yeah.
minimum.
Yeah,
World of Warcraft.
minimum, and then if you put him in his lair, he's a challenge rating 22.
Dude, let's do it.
No.
Bruh, nah.
He's also
That's like,
he's also
let's come
considered.
back in 7 levels.
Yeah, he's also
Yeah,
considered
definitely.
an 18th level spellcaster.
Yeah, fuck that. Let's not do that right
Like
now.
I said,
Let's definitely level
Like I
up
said,
a little
the battle on the water would not be good. The battle on the water would not be good for you
bit. What's
guys.
up?
Galahad's finally being smart about something.
I've been saying let's not fight him for 20 minutes now.
He did, yeah, he
Who
has.
said
Right
it's
now.
something we do fight?
What's up?
Who's
Sorry, Mike.
insisting that we fight?
Yeah, not right now. That's what I'm saying. I've been saying that forever. Let's not
Yeah.
fight him right now. We can't let him get to his. Well, we can let him get to his base.
Or-
Like, don't let him establish an army.
I thought I heard someone saying, "Oh yeah, let's do it."
No, that was Steel
That
at the beginning.
Deal at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Steel was like, "Fucking, let's go for it."
Christ, power word kill.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of, and that's not even.
Oh yeah.
I've
Oh,
even
it's
changed some. Of,
Dimension door.
I've even changed some of his spells, so it would have been really nasty. Trust me, this is not a bad.
Globe of invulnerability.
Yeah.
We're resistant to magic in 10 feet. For what it's worth.
Oh, and he also has saving throws on all spells and effects that turn undead.
We have
And he
advantage.
speaks up to
Advantage
5
on
languages.
those.
5 plus the original
Wow,
language
that's
he
the really
speaks.
impressive part.
Yeah, 5 plus
But
the
you have the
languages he
helmet.
speaks. Yeah, so I mean, you get all languages, so you luck out. He just looks at you guys. He looks at you, Razik. Is there anything else you want from me? We're heading home. I don't think you want to be there.
No, indeed we don't. But if I may, I just ask if you come across any followers of Chronon's, give them hell.
He smiles. I have no qualms about destroying Chronons and his little bitches.
Hell yeah.
Tell him to come upstairs with me.
Oh,
Downstairs.
oh,
They're actually upstairs from you.
Downstairs.
I'm not there right
Tell
now.
him to come downstairs.
Also, gross.
You're not even sure if his thing works.
Oh,
Okay. There's one hole.
Or if
Oh,
it's even
Ooh,
there.
rigor mortis is a hell of a thing.
what if we can? Oh,
Yes.
we could use.
Thank you.
Maybe if she bangs him, we can use that as a way to get to him.
I
Now you're thinking the heresy way.
Man,
So-
I understand. My brain just. I'm
That's
woke.
14 intelligence, man.
just so we
The
know,
light bulb
where
flickers.
Yeah.
where is home? Where is home exactly?
Oh yeah, that would be.
the continent called Auric.
The whole thing?
Yes.
Oh, you're keeping quite busy, I see.
Razik, please.
Should try and persuade Razik now.
I think we need to be getting on the old dusty trail.
Razik! Oh wait,
Think-
hang on. I think I have a. Hang on.
Pretty sure we're all really busy.
Mr. Well, whatever your name is, my friend, Kerosene, is downstairs somewhere with that little vampire friend, and she keeps on bugging Razik, and she won't shut up in my head. I can't turn it off. Can you
I
please go
teleport
join
away.
her?
I don't even want to. I teleport away. I'm done with this.
Okay. Razik disappears.
She would like you to join her. I don't know if you can, if you're able, but she says that she wants you to join her, or him. Excuse me. Him.
I have
Either one.
I have forgone that long ago. My pursuits are through other
Nerd.
means.
And
Yeah,
then
he's
I
a
say
nerd.
in my mind, he says that he's not like that. He doesn't want to do that.
He's a nerd.
Tell him he can watch.
Oh.
Now he says he wants you to watch.
Jesus Christ! They have a filter.
Wow.
Boundaries, please.
All right, Razik, where do you reappear?
I guess I'm not there.
Oh,
so
I
don't-
should have. I probably should have told everybody.
Well, they can
I suppose
pinpoint
back
you,
in.
remember?
Okay. Back in Kazgrim, the like de facto capital of resistance.
Okay.
And same reappearing process as always. Great, beautiful, ornate stone gate.
Okay. Galitas and Galahad and Kerosene, you feel Razik's connection a little strained because it's further away. You can tell he's teleported
I
off.
teleport to where he is.
Galahad does too. Kerosene, how about you?
Please. Hello, God.
I'm sorry, my audio cut out. What's happening?
Oh, they all teleported away off the boat back to Kazgrim. Do you finish up your fun time and join them?
Yeah. I give her my telepathy number. Hey baby, telepathy path 30245.
Hell yeah.
Okay. You guys
We
all
swap numbers.
You guys all reappear in Kazgrim. Sorry, that's just funny.
Chersy's still getting dressed.
I just fall flat on my face, drunk as fuck. Smash the bottle.
Hey, Galahad.
I'm quiet for a little bit.
Who wants to kick him?
Everybody.
Let's all kick Galahad.
You can try. Wait, do I have no AC when I'm on? I guess they just hit me, right?
If you just passed out the way you were, then that means you're still in your full armor, which means you have your normal AC.
I guess I'll.
Can we strip him?
I can't even.
What? I'm just gonna.
I want to Can I take his pants off and kick his ass?
No,
Kinky.
I'm just gonna heal him with a little bit of spell fire.
Okay.
I don't know if that's gonna work on his drunkenness, but I'll try.
It actually does. We'll say you do it, and suddenly Galahad is fully awake and sober.
Where the fuck are we?
Back
Oh,
in
Kazgrim.
Kazgrim. So I want to go ahead and arrange a meeting with the kind of powers that be.
Okay. Well, since you're in Kazgrim, and I think he's referring to at least the
The king,
Yeah, the
the
Oh, okay.
the Dragir, both kings.
My king?
Did you? Which one were you with? Well, there's two of them.
Oh, I don't know.
I think you went with
Dwarves all
the.
look the same to me.
Wow.
Wow.
I look at her
he
appalled.
He didn't
Him
actually
appalled.
say that.
Typical elf.
He was drunk when she slept with him.
He was, I wasn't.
Yeah. Ugh. Anyway, yeah. So there's like two. There's one that's a mountain dwarf and one that's hill dwarf.
Mhm.
The mountain dwarf's the head honcho. Hill dwarf is the right hand man.
Correct. The meeting does happen. They all appear in the little. They decide to do the war room instead of the throne room. Yes, Rezek, what can we do for you?
We've taken care of Lord Worthington. We've also taken care of a vampire problem in Pine Coast. What we've learned in our dealings with Lord Worthington is that there is a powerful, very powerful lich who's running a navy of sorts. He has at least a fully stocked warship full of undead and has considerable magic powers. However, he has acquiesced to our presence when we found ourselves on the boat and spared us. We consider him quite a powerful being. However, he is warned of a sort of prophecy him and some select few others have received of a demigod-like being that's set to come to this world and either destroy it or bend it to his will within the next 1,000 or 2,000 years. I understand that's quite a large time frame to operate in. However, some of his forces have already made landfall. He has alluded to the fact that the I'm sorry, what are they called again? The Drew Deljorans. He has alluded to the fact that the Deljorans may have become they may have been evil. However, that's from his perspective. I don't know if that's true or not. He is a lich after all. But he also alluded to the fact that Chronons might have been a distraction force, and his force is a mere appetizer for the main course to come. At the very least, we do know that this force of undead does not wish to be interfered with, and I would also recommend to any towns that might encounter them on the coast to refrain from attacking them outright,
And why is that?
because he is quite powerful, and they certainly would not be able to attack them. He would not attack them outright, just for being there. He does respond to attacks in self-defense, apparently. So, for their own safety, I think that they ought to be avoided and dealt with in the future with teams that can handle them.
Understood. We'll put the word out, and we'll do the best we can, but we cannot promise that citizens won't take it upon themselves. You know how the populace can be at times.
I understand. I just hope that they're warned in the most urgent of fashions. Now, what's the Dragears lady name? What's her?
Serena. Or no, sorry, hold on, let me check again. The one you guys have been dealing with is... yeah, Lady Serena.
Okay, Lady Serena. We ask that you take some scouts, some of your best, and try to investigate any kind of word or hearing about these landfall forces, and tell us everything you know about them.
We can do that. You say they're run by a lich. That's interesting.
No, these landfall forces are not. These landfall forces would be serving some form of demigod, some mortal yet not mortal. The lich forces, we already know a fair bit about. However, it would be wise to keep updated on them as well. We don't know their true intentions or if he was just lying to us the entire time.
Kerosene, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
Will be. Saving throw.
+4.
I
Okay,
saw
so
14
14.
total.
And advantage if it's magical.
Okay, so roll again.
Roll again.
Yeah, roll again.
Nope.
Nope.
We're going with 14.
14 is okay. Okay. I'm in. Well, we'll put the word out about the Lich, but we will definitely keep an eye out. As for these landfall forces, we must investigate these. If these Deldrons are really here to cause a problem, then we must take care of it. No, you're fine, Gladys.
I'd recommend keeping an eye on them regardless, as any kind of force as strange and alien as that is worth knowing about.
Understood. But we will have to take what the Lich says with a kind of grain of salt, because Liches are not known to be on the right side of things.
One day they say one thing, the next day
Understood.
They hunger for power, and that's all they quest and strive for. It is how they are created and how they continue their existence. That's all they seek, is power over others.
I'll keep that in mind. Now, the situation in Montan is there are 3 keys held by Chronon's forces, and from what I understand, this is just still their base of operations. Is that right?
Montan, no, is no longer under their control.
Okay. So, out of character, is this like, have we pretty much cleared the continent?
Most of it, yeah. I mean, there are a few
Okay.
scattered forces here and there, but those will eventually be run down by the, combined military might.
What about the creature in the blood plains? Do we still have we gotten that
You guys haven't gotten there.
key?
You've never gone there.
too bad for you there.
What does the map say about the different locations of the keys on this continent?
There are, other than the ones you already knew about, there are no others on the continent, which means the key to the blood plains has been picked up.
Ah.
As for others, as you look at the map itself, and you look through the various continents, there are currently 4 on Thelsalion. The continent will eventually appear before you. I'm looking at them all. Gunduruk, there's 1. Looks like this.
Would you describe me as a flexible person?
Ilvisbar, there are 2. There is 1 more in Goltorum. There are... Here's the fun part. You see this continent pop up, and its little island next to it, and there are 2 here.
Would that be the hold on, Auric?
Yes, this would be the continent of Auric.
Making Oreo a little jealous, but
Or
Lich
Or-
Central rather.
oh, liches.
Yeah, this is where the Lich said he was going. This is where he says he has control of it.
The big island or the little one?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
He's
Damn,
been
you
left
guys
alone
are
for a
good.
long time.
2 whole land masses.
He's been
Oh,
left alone a long time.
Maybe Kerosene will become a lich. That way you're all stuck with him permanently. If you die.
There are 4 on this continent that you see. You know,
No, what is this?
this is Conway. This is the Nemesi continent. Yes, I know it looks like the U.S. Just get over it.
So who?
There's Canada.
It died.
Wow.
Oh,
We can
Well, that's realistic.
melted away.
no.
One of those that didn't survive the rending of the world.
Oh man, yeah.
Look
it's
how
probably-
snowy the top part of the U.S. is.
Yeah. But no, this is
Yeah.
this is Conway. This is the Nemesi homeland.
So, Do we know who has possession of the keys on each of these continents? Like, is it a friendly force in Thelsalion? Is it a friendly force?
You're assuming at least with Thelsalion, yes, there would be a friendly force because that's the Elven continent. So you would assume that it's probably full of yeah. So you assume they're at least they at least are under their control. You're hoping at least. Unfortunately, you guys don't know for sure whether or not it's actually in. Gunduruk is also the Orc homeland, which was that little island chain.
Did you say Pandora?
Gunduruk.
Oh, Gunduruk, sorry.
For future reference, which is the one you're seeing now. There is one here, and you know this is where the orcs and the goblins and stuff originated from. You also know it used to be a bigger continent, but after the rending, shit happened. Ilvisbard is really gnome, halfling, and a few dwarves here and there. That one, you're not sure.
I thought we already got all those.
Did you already get it? Yeah, you already did get Ilvisbard.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so you already knew about those, so those are gone. There is one. The second largest one is located here.
All those windmills. Very industrial.
Those aren't windmills; those are towers.
Those are. Oh, come on now. Those are clearly windmills.
Oh yeah, down at the bottom, yeah. But
There's even a tower thing right down beside.
yeah. I was just looking at the northern half.
I was like, why would he use a windmill as a tower when there's a tower right there?
Yeah. This place is called Spiritus Deorum. I'll spell it.
Who lives there?
It is rumored this is where many of the mages after the Great War withdrew to.
And how many keys are there?
There are 2 here.
Well,
The second
gang,
largest and the second smallest.
Keys?
Yes, the keys are by size.
Does like the size have any indication on like what they're capable of or like what they do?
All the keys are based. What you guys have been able to figure out is all the keys are based off of the elements. The size really doesn't matter. Just probably just whatever they use to control the elements. So the size really isn't a factor. You just know it happened to be the second largest, second smallest, just by the size of the blip.
Okay. Well, guys, I say we go after the Doljorans, and I'm sorry, no, it was the Nemesi continent.
I was gonna ask, don't we have Deljorans in the city or whatever?
Yes, you do.
So,
But it's the Nemesi continent that has the keys.
well, I was gonna ask them about this thing the Lich said about some other dude coming here.
You can
I
ask.
mean, I told him that.
What's up?
They weren't in the meeting. There's only a few here. They weren't in the meeting. They were busy teaching some of your troops movements and how to combat certain things.
Oh,
Yeah, the Delzorans you've met so far have been nothing but friendly and been assisting you guys. If you recall, they're the ones they're the ones that have been busy busting their ass trying to do whatever they can to defeat Chronons and his forces.
I don't know. It might just be like a quick. I'm pretty sure this guy's lying to us because he has everything to gain from us having another target that isn't him. But I mean, might be worth just like a quick stop off on our way over to one of the keys.
Up to you guys.
So where are we going?
What's up?
I said we
Yeah,
go to
let's look at
the
everybody.
Nemesi continent.
Nemesi con. Oh, okay.
Conwy.
Who are the
Which one?
Nemesi
Oh,
again?
Conway?
The Nemesi are the humanoid type race with giant silver wings. They stand about between 7.5 to 8 feet tall, and they're muscular in build. They were also the main. the original main force that Chronons used the original time when Chronons attacked the world.
Damn, there's 4
Well,
keys there.
let's do it, man.
Yeah, there's 4 keys there.
Yeah, it has the biggest concentration of keys. Aside from Penryn,
just-
which you guys have been collecting. So
Yeah, I guess that's more of an issue than the thing that might take place within 1,000 years. So let's go do that.
My guy turns to stone as he holds onto the amulet and shoots into the ground and pops up where we need to go.
What's the
Wait,
And then break them.
what?
Wait a minute.
okay.
I'm
Razik is
teleporting.
temporarily shocked.
You guys watch Galetas just disappear.
What's the name of
Well,
the continent he went to?
I think it's the one. I mean, I'm assuming he showed up at the place he wanted to.
No, I know, but I forgot the name.
Conway.
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 No, Conway.
Okay.
Conway. Yeah, I was like Conway.
Oh,
There we go.
Conway.
Sorry, I
Thank you.
forgot to put that one in.
That's all good.
Conway Pudi.
Real quick to go to Galetas, since he's the one who wanted to jump ahead. You are met with swords pointed at your throat.
Oh
You're
crap!
probably wondering how I got into this situation.
Well, he went there first, and
Okay, so we just.
Well, I assumed that's where we were going, but never mind. Well, I'm already here. I just stay still. I just look around me and not moving.
you are surrounded by at least 10 to 15 Nemesi, all with swords drawn.
Uh,
You appeared on their continent.
in their
Okay.
freaking
Well,
house?
can I disappear? Can I just flash back to where I was? Teleport back to where I was?
Tell you what, roll an initiative check just to see how quick you can do it.
Crap! I got myself into this situation.
Oh,
Oh,
as you go to do that, you feel something thump you on the back of the head, and you're unconscious.
damn.
If you had beat me,
Well-
you would have gotten it.
Well, I guess we should go after him. Because we don't know any better. Or do we? Do we know through a connection or anything?
No, because you guys aren't focusing on the connections. You guys just literally watch him disappear in his usual poof, and then that's it. You're like, because you guys were just talking about going to Conway, and he was like, okay, poof, and gone. Like, he didn't
I
even
don't know
wait.
how else we were gonna go here.
He didn't even wait. He was like, see ya.
Well, I didn't know any better, so I just assumed, hey, we were gonna just teleport there. So I mean, that was my stupidity.
Oh, it's
How
okay.
many were there?
There were at least 15 around him at the time.
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I'd probably just go.
Okay.
That's what we've been doing.
Okay.
I mean, I would, anyways.
Oh, sorry, 10. Yeah, you're right. It was 10. But more have joined because you appeared in their capital city.
Okay.
As you guys appear, as everybody shows up. I'm sorry, it's just funny.
Oh, hello.
You see them putting Galetas into manacles, and they all look at you, and swords that were already drawn just turn and point at you.
I show them my symbol. Stop right there. What you have there is a keeper of one of the 12 elements.
And there's some
We are
commotion.
not here to hurt you.
There's some commotion coming from behind this large group. Unfortunately, you can't see what the commotion is because these are big fucking creatures. But eventually they make way, and then you see a female approaching. She looks just like them, She has the, the palish type skin, the big silver wings. She seems a little bit more toned than the rest of them. She's wearing some kind of outfit. You're not even sure. It looks nicer than what everybody else is wearing. No, these are not Sky Elves.
Oh man.
Sky Elves have regular wings. Nemesi have silver metal wings. Yeah, Sky Elves have white feathery wings. Platinum Elves have no wings whatsoever. These are the Nemesi. You went to their continent. You're on their home turf. This is the same Nemesi, the ones that Cronon's brought forward when he first attacked Fortis and laid waste to most of the planet until they finally got their shit together to work together. This is the same race that was responsible for the death of many, many lives.
So they're just. Oh man.
They haven't done anything.
So they're just.
If you agree to go peacefully, the female says, I can assure you there will be no harm come to you.
Are you followers of Chronon's?
She narrows her eyes. You don't see a Chronon symbol on them.
That's true.
And as soon as you say that, like half of them around you just kind of and like spit off to the side. Guess that's a no.
Well, I think our interests might be aligned then.
She leans down. She, picks up Galetus' head, kind of looks at it. She looks rather rudely to one of the other Nemesi. You see her just grab his symbol and just kind of lift it up. She doesn't take it off. She just kind of looks at it. She looks up and goes, release him immediately. You now notice, now that she leaned over, you see one fall out of her tunic.
Ooh. Which one?
What'd she drop?
She didn't drop anything. Her necklace fell out of her tunic. You can see it is the one for Adam.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
What's your name?
You can call me Strike. Yes, like the goddess. You feel refreshed. Galetus, you feel a refreshing wave go through you, and you wake up. You do feel that your hands are being unbound and you're being freed. Return his weapons, and they hand you back your stuff.
I take him back. Sorry about that, Sorry about that, guys. I got a little too eager.
It's all good.
Please come with me. Let's talk somewhere a little more privately. Not all eyes upon here are loyal.
Good to me.
Keep my eyes on a swivel, but I follow through.
You guys are escorted by a good 7 to 8 Nemesi. They all put their weapons away, but they're rather imposing figures standing next to you guys. Just because of their mere size and the fact that, they're dangerous. I mean, this was the same race that Chronon's brought to this planet to create chaos and destroy, and they've killed countless and almost cost they destroyed a whole race. The genocide of the Suhi was because of these guys.
Damn.
Yeah, they were a vicious race. But obviously things have changed. She walks you down, and these guys just escort you. It's more, you can tell it's more of like a protection on your behalf rather than on theirs. AKA, they're protecting you from anybody who might try and attack you. She walked you up to this palace. It's gorgeous, made of pure chromacium, which is the rarest metal on Fortis. It's also the strongest metal on Fortis.
Subtle.
We mine what we want and use it how we see fit.
It's what I literally dream of.
So what brings the other Guardians of the Elements to Conwy?
I just want to do a quick insight to see if she's like seems trustworthy.
Okay.
Yeah, we should probably start doing that.
Yeah, you guys should probably do that a little more often.
We just keep. Okay.
Just believe in me. Oh, that sucks.
Oh hell yeah!
Rough.
Okay. From what you could tell, she seems to be honest.
All right.
She does, you know, as she's talking to you, she is keeping her voice kind of down a bit, at least until you guys cross the threshold into the palace, and then she talks a little more freely.
It seems as though there are quite a few keys on this continent here. Are you? Do you have any information regarding that?
I'm aware of their presence within this continent. We haven't bothered to look for him because we didn't think he'd make his effort this way, especially with all that you guys have been doing to annoy him.
Well, that's why we're here. And we really should be getting to that task. If there's anything you can do to assist the effort in the fight against Chronons, it'd be much appreciated.
As I said out there, not all of my kin are on our side. We are a majority as of this point in time because they have moved on to it, and the rest have moved on to other areas. But we still have a few traitors within the mist that we haven't been able to pinpoint.
Understood?
I can assist a little bit, but once you leave these walls, you are on your own.
Fair enough. I suppose we really ought to be on our way then.
I know Kerosene said she had to leave soon, so just trying to keep an eye on the time. Give us a heads up so I don't get you guys too far and then we have to stop. I mean, if you're starting to pass out on us, we can stop here. This is a good place to stop. You guys would be fine. And I can even give you guys another long rest.
I mean, if you guys want to stop here, it's up to you.
I mean, it's everybody else's
For
fault.
me. For me, I gotta get up in. Oh, but
Yeah,
I think you guys would probably rather have Kerosene with you anyways, even though, you know, Kerosene's a little hornball.
yeah, the group can get a little thin.
okay.
Yeah, I don't want to do too
So
much
you
without
gotta
stealing
head
either.
off now?
Who is?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, so you're looking to head off about now, or in like a little bit?
I mean, if you guys want to stop here, we can stop here. But regardless, I'd be heading off at 8.
Yeah, this is a good stopping point, if any.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
'cause-
we'd just be, just getting into whatever encounter.
Yeah, because the things I have planned, believe me, you're going to want your other people there for.
Oh boy.
I know Steele would get mad if he missed out again. Alright, well, thank you players for playing. Thank you watchers for watching. Hope you enjoyed this rather unique night of philosophical discussion about the various arcane schools. And yeah, can't wait to see more later.